now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X Gaming Show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt Mclusky. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, let's do the time warp again.
Yep. We're already week two of September.
Is this week 2 of football already? Or week 3?
Yeah, Thursday. Thursday night is we're starting week 2.
Week 2.
Yep, week 2. Yep. Giants came out.
Absolutely crazy.
Giants came out just like I thought they would last week, and they just got their asses kicked. That's it.
Listen, I don't follow sports as much as I used to. I don't either. I don't care anymore. I'll be honest. But I did read that between preseason and the first game, the Dolphins lost 4 people on the injuries.
Off injuries? I didn't.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, yeah. Well, I guess we'll see if the second string people get a chance. I'll be honest. If you're a real sports fan, like you actually like are behind your team like a crazy person, you know,
I used to
a passionate fan. I understand that you want your top players the whole time, but I got to be honest with you. Sometimes I like to see that there are injuries, so the kids that are foaming at the mouth that want to try get a chance and get.
That's how Matt Castle. That's how Matt Castle got his opportunity. That's how when Drew Bledsoe got injured. That's how Tom Brady got his chance, right?
That's exactly correct, and that's why I kind of like it that way, because I always look at it as like not really karma, but like the universe speaking. When you have a lot of talented people, but the payment for entry, you just can't get in, right? I'm not turning this into a DEI thing. I'm just saying that you only have so many spots on the team. Right, and you have all those guys on the team that learn the plays, everything else, but they never get to play, but they're on the field. So I always like to see that get a chance, right? And when you have 4 people go out, now here's how I look at it, right? If there's 4 injuries, and you have to replace all 4 people. Now, usually, if the second stringers, they've been hanging out, they've been talking, they're friendly with each other, there might be a better vibe with them. You don't know, right? Because the whole vibe of the team is a part of it. It's not just I know the playbook, right? It's everything together is what makes the team the team.
Two of my favorite sports films of all time. One, Major League Baseball, right? Major League, right? The Indians with the guys that never played before got their opportunity, and then in that movie they go on to win the pennant, right? And then the second one is The Replacements, the movie The Replacements, right? With Scott Bakula, right? Was the quarterback or whatever in that, and like. And
don't miss. You're confusing two football movies. Keanu Reeves is in the.
Oh, it's The Replacements. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what's the one with?
Hang on. Goldie Hawn? Not with the one with Goldie Hawn.
Not
the
older
one.
No, that's an older one.
There's another one. I know.
Oh my God.
There's another one. Hang on.
Not Replacements with Keanu Reeves. It's not that one. It's the one with Scott Bakula as the quarterback. I know the team. It's green. It's got the horns. They're the Bulls.
It'll come to you after.
Kathy Ireland is the field goal kicker. The sumo wrestlers. The center.
No, that's The Replacements.
That's not Replacements.
Yeah, it is.
No,
the sumo guy in the eggs. He's Keanu Reeves. Yeah, that's with Keanu Reeves.
No, that's not. Their team is orange and blue.
The sumo dude eating the eggs was from the movie with Keanu Reeves.
No, the guy. It's not. Look, stop it.
Necessary Roughness. That's it.
Thank you.
That's it.
Necessary Roughness. Thank you, Travis. Yes, that's the one. That's one of my favorite football films. Yeah. That is a bunch of rejects that get to try out. It's basically the Major League Baseball for the football franchise, right? Yeah. And they go on. They suck. They keep losing. And I love stories like that where you get a bunch of rejects, you put them together, but they just gel well, right? After they get over themselves, type of thing. Yeah. Travis says, "Thank you, Google." What's going on? So yeah, I like stuff like that. Yeah. So sports, I love watching sports. I used to love watching sports. I don't watch them much anymore. But yeah, my Giants suck. And I didn't even know we had Russell Wilson, who was a superstar. But of course, now he's on the Giants. That means he's almost on retirement. It's like 15 years in the league. So we got him because he was cheap. That's why we got him.
I'll be honest. I'm very proud that the Panthers won a Stanley Cup, but I'm also know what this means. And I think that they're going to just cut them in half. Like, that's basically what's going to happen. I think that the couple of guys that are on there.
You talking about the Panthers?
Yeah.
No. They have good money there.
Oh, I know, but they're still young. They're still young. That's what I'm saying.
They still have a young team, and they have money there, so they'll probably be around for another 3 years. And then
maybe playoffs. Look at the playoffs. I'm not sure they'll win another one. We'll see.
Yeah.
That was great. It was a great series. Watching that series reminded me of when the Panthers kind of first started. And
94.
It was the 96 series. It was the playoff series, and it was Avalanche versus Panthers. And we had to beat the Avalanche to go to the Stanley Cup. Right? Now, I was a hockey fan at the time, but we would go to the bar down the street from my work after work, and we would watch every time they would play with that series. That series, if you can watch it on YouTube, if you can find like a telecast of it, like a copy of the telecast and watch it, that series was like watching a war. Okay, they played all the games and they lost, and they only lost by one, and it was like not from lack of trying, bro. It was the most incredible hockey I've ever seen, and ever since then, I've watched hockey.
I would 100% make another channel just to talk about sports. I love sports.
Yeah, but I think you're out of practice. You're gonna have to do like a warm up. You need a good 6 months of reading shit first.
Yeah, I would do it though. I love sports a lot. But all right, on today's show, we're going to be talking about Borderlands. Lots of Borderlands stuff.
Oh, please.
We're going to talk about Destiny.
Nom.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Destiny. We're going to talk about Helldivers. We're going to talk about Nintendo. We're going to talk about.
I don't have my aspirin, bro. We're talking about all that. That's a lot.
All that.
That's a lot.
And maybe more. Those of you that don't know, Generation X Gaming is a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. We're here live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're live over on Twitch. Hello, Twitch. How are you? We're also over
somewhere
on YouTube. We're here at 8 p.m. You can also watch or listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm. This is episode 456. That's a lot of episodes. So we do about 42 to 45 episodes a year. You do the math. We are in the 11th season of this. So appreciate everyone coming out, hanging out. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, you become a member as little as $5. All right, Sarge, let's get to what we've been playing.
Every time I hear it, though, I have a margarita and I'm looking at a belly dancer. Yeah, like the hula girls.
So I know what you've been playing. We've been playing, I think, the same thing. I don't know if you've been playing anything else because you're pretty high up in levels as well.
Why don't you tell me my hair's messed up?
Your hair's messed up. Have you been playing anything other than Helldivers?
I mean, kinda.
Okay.
I had to play catch up because you were too far ahead.
Yeah, I was 9 levels ahead of you, and now I'm like 5, 4.
All right, so here's the skinny. So after last week's show, I played Helldivers, and then Friday and Saturday night when I came home, I played Helldivers, and on Sunday I wanted to play Path of Exile 2, and I started playing, and I got into a rhythm what I was supposed to be doing, trying to figure it out, because I hasn't been playing in a while, and then in the middle of me playing it, it crashed like I don't know 6 or 7 times. Like it was just a ridiculous amount of crashes.
The dashboard crash?
Lock up dashboards. I don't know. Stuff's been happening. Now, it happens. I'm not like super pissed about it, but because after like the 6th or 7th time, I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna play it. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? And so when I said I'm not gonna play this because it keeps crashing, I don't care, and I just went and go play something else. You know, it happens.
That's usually how it works.
It happens. Yeah. If your game's not working, I don't want to play. I don't care.
Yeah. Right. You're right.
Yeah. So in my wheelhouse right, is pretty much the same stuff. And then like there's the big, like I call it the menu. What's my gaming menu? Right. What's on the menu for me to eat? Right. I've got appetizers, I've got main courses, sometimes I got a salad, and there's always a dessert. Right. So for me, there's a circle in the menu, and then there's two other circles. Like the two other circles is what I go to when I'm in the mood, and they kind of like jive together. So for instance, like if I like a first person RPG, I'll play like a Fallout or Skyrim type of thing, or New Vegas, those kind of games, right? And then over here I have like all the RTSs, like Dawn of War and Company of Heroes, those kind of games. So then there's the one in the middle, which is like the one you play often. Right. So right now in the often category is Helldivers 2 and Path of Exile 2 for the twos. And then in the left and the right wing is the first person RPGs, MIRTSs. And then a little sprinkling of dessert. Like the sprinkle of dessert is like something from GamePass, and I'll try it. Like I still play Kingdom Hearts. I know some people in chat. I know some people in chat know what it is, but they keep coming out with like a new update or new race or something. And I
try hurdlings.
I thought herding.
It's called
the minute I played it at your house, and I was like 5 minutes in. I go, this is going to be a game that makes you cry. I could tell already, right? And so I played a little bit
for a while when you were here.
Yeah, so I played it for a little bit longer over here, and I'm like, yep, I'm going to start crying for something stupid because it makes you. I like the way the game is made, right? You start with nothing, you learn the creatures, you befriend the creatures, and you work up a relationship as it goes. And then things happen, and then you have to deal with the consequences of what happens, right? It's actually quite good if you think about it, because you can say it's meant for younger people, but there's like life lessons inside the game. And it's just like you think it's nothing. It's hold them left, hold them right, speed them up, don't let them run off a cliff, make sure you feed them and clean them, right? You're taking care of an animal, right? And I'm like, it's fascinating.
We do that in real life, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But it's an interesting game. And I like it because it's telling a story through visuals, and there's no language. You never talk.
Yeah, there's no dialogue.
There's no dialogue. But he tells the story through visuals. It's done good. It was a fun game.
So what do you think about Helldivers? What do you like about Helldivers? What do you don't like? I mean, we played it last year when it first came out. Then we stopped, and now we're playing it again on console.
The best way I can explain this to you is that you're in your own like wake. Like this is kind of like you, and then your friends are doing their own thing. Sometimes when you're lucky, you feel the same, you're thinking the same. And when you do this, you happen to get with your friends and you happen to be doing the same thing together, right? So like we did Helldivers a ways back, but then it kind of just fell off type of thing. But then other stuff's been happening.
Show us your ID.
Yeah.
Sign this up. You're like,
but at the same time, you come back and then like a couple other guys got involved. You guys were talking about it in chat. This starts up again. And then we start playing. And then now here we are. We're with a group of guys from chat that we all just randomly get on
from people that we played Bad Company 2 with back in the day.
People are showing up that we haven't seen in 10 years.
Haven't seen in 10, 12 years, showing back up.
They're showing up in Helldivers.
Yeah.
That says a lot. Says a lot. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I just know that the engine is being held together with duct tape and Big League Chew.
Yeah, now, when I first started playing over a year and a half ago, there was problems. Then they fixed it. But it seems like since we've been gone, okay, that the community, because I've been watching a lot of videos and stuff, people are over at wit's end with it, right? There's like big content creators. Yeah, with Helldivers, because they said, what the hell is the developers doing? They keep screwing it up. They keep messing up with the not the weapons, but the way it's like glitching where the new update happened and like the drop ships were coming and going through the map, or they're falling through the map, or they were drowning for no reason, or things weren't connecting. Like it's getting worse, right, than getting better. And they're like, when are you going to fix this? When are you going to fix this? And the community around it's like, look, take a break, stop making new content, and fix the shit before. But they're at this crossroad right now because they're using, I think it's called Autodesk, which is the engine they're using, which it got stopped being supported in 2018. So they're using a used car, basically, okay, to make this game, and it hit way after they made the game, and they're like, well, no one's supporting it. So when something goes wrong with this,
duct
right,
tape and Big League Chew.
and if they hire somebody, they don't want to teach them just this, so they rather move, which goes into, they might be going to Unreal Engine, right? They might be going on Unreal Engine.
We need to have a separate conversation and a separate show just for Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah. So I think right now it's a lot of fun, but there are issues. Like today,
Of course.
right? Mr. Luke is playing
Dashboard.
with us.
Dashboard.
Right as played for 40 minutes, get into the actual thing, crash. He loses all the XP, loses all the stuff.
XP. Yeah.
Right. And
it made me feel like Starship Troopers.
Yeah. I can't speak for Mr. Luke, but if that was me, that would be the reason I go, I'm not playing anymore, because I just wasted 40 minutes of my time. But since I was playing with friends, I'd be like, all right, I'm playing with friends. It was fun. I'll stick with it. But if it did it again, which it did it twice to him back to back. Okay. So that's 80 minutes, right? It's an hour and 20 minutes of fucking up. It's not respecting your time. So they have to get this, they have to get this stable, right? They have to get this stable.
But here's the situation. They used an old engine because it was cheaper. They didn't expect the explosion of not content, the generation of engagement that they received. So now you have all these people waiting. They're like looking at you, like, what do you got? And like, oh well, we're trying, but old engine. You decided to do what you did. Right now you're succeeding, so you need to roll with the punch. You can't all of a sudden say, well, we're gonna decide we're gonna move. Don't worry, guys, we're gonna move everything over to Unreal Engine 5. Like, no, just stop. Fix what you don't. First of all, don't give me another race to fight. Okay, I don't need another race to fight. You can't win a 2-front war. We're on a 3-front war now. You want to make it a 4-front war, like, and you expect a little meter to go up and we're gonna win? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, yeah, I look. I think, first of all, with the cheapest engine they have, held together by duct tape and Big League Chew, by the way. Okay, right?
Used to love Big League Chew.
There is what's the correct words here? They stumbled upon a recipe that's just a fun, repeatable loop with your friends, and decided to put it on that engine. They didn't know it was going to succeed. They were doing it for shits and giggles. We know this because I saw Helldivers 1, right? We know this.
Right, completely different.
Right. Yeah. So now that it succeeded, now you're in trouble because you were doing it for shits and giggles, and now you have a following. So now you have to either shut up or put up, right? One or the other. Changing it to Unreal Engine 5, and I don't want to make this a big segue. I think the reason, and I know you're going to bring up the article, but we're not going to talk about that yet either right now. Unreal Engine 5 was made to be the staple, according to the industry. The reason being is enough people in the industry, in the higher ups, mid-level and above, know about Unreal Engine 5, and they feel that that's the easiest engine that they can cross with because a couple factors. Number one, because they're comfortable with Unreal Engine 5, they know the time frame of whatever it is they want to do, right? Because Unreal Engine 5 has been out for a while. So they know that if we have to do this list of things and we're doing it in Unreal Engine 5, they know it's going to take 2.5 years, just that small list. They just know because they know the engine. They know that that's what it's going to take. Everybody else doing all kinds of different engines, and they're in part of the same studio. You don't know when that game is coming out. You don't know if this is going to come out on time. That's going to come out on time. But if everybody's doing Unreal Engine 5, then everybody gets a comfortable schedule, right? That's right. Number one.
It's also easier to use. It's easier to teach people.
Right. So they say all these good things.
Right. Make it the standard engine for the industry.
What's his face? But what's his face said
Tim
that
Sweeney.
The reason it was Tim Sweeney.
Tim Sweeney said that. Yeah.
He says that it's not because the engine is badly optimized.
It's because the
guys who are using it. Here's the best excuse ever. It's because the guys who are using it aren't updating as they go.
Right. They're not optimizing as they go. They optimize near at the end. Yeah.
Right, they're doing it there. And so that's causing the problem. Well, I got news for you. If that were the truth about Unreal Engine 5, that would be in the fucking manual. Like, if you learn the engine, like, if you, this is your fucking job, if you learn how to code games in Unreal Engine 5, and that's part of the fucking thing of the engine, it would be in the fucking instructions.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me an entire industry is working with an engine that everybody knows, but no one knows what it does.
Well, I mean, we could go right into the next story, which is...
Don't give me...
We could go from what we've just been playing, which is Helldivers 2. We don't have to really go into it, right? Let's go into the top stories. I won't even do the thing. Okay? We're just going to jump into the top stories, which is Borderlands 4 boss Randy Pitchford wants everyone to have realistic expectations for performance ahead of launch. This is a big open AAA game and lower end for older hardware may not perform as well. Now, this is from September 8th, okay? Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because Borderlands 4 uses the Unreal Engine, okay, for Borderlands 4, okay? They switched engines. They've been using the engine now. And open world and Unreal Engine don't go together very well, right?
Don't mix.
It gets stutters. It gets a lot of problems. And my issue here is with Helldivers 2, with engines in general, I am a person that, look, yes, I buy games, and then when you buy them, you're expecting the game to work. You're expecting the game to work. I'm not lowering my expectations. My expectations are I give you money, you give me product that works, not week one, not month one.
Why is that a discussion? Why is that
day one? That's what I'm saying. So Borderlands 4 says, well, let's keep your performance, you might have to buy a new system because of this, okay? So what's happening right now, Sarge, is that why don't we have Borderlands 4 reviews yet? This is from PC Gamer.
Everybody in chat knows the answer to this question.
Okay. Well, because of performance issues, I would assume. Okay. And they only give them out to certain people that were sponsored by 2K and whatnot. And if they're not sponsored, they're trusted by them because they know they'll say good things about the thing and they get access for it. And this is, access journalism. Okay. So PC Gamer didn't get it. So they got their copy probably today or tomorrow, and then they'll review it afterwards or whatnot. People have been playing the game for 30 and 150 hours. And everyone says, with great reviews, that the game is fun. The gunplay is awesome. The open world feels good. The dialogue, the story, all of this stuff feels fantastic. And then they say this really quiet. They're like, yeah, having a blast, doing all this. This is all great. Oh, it's got performance issues. But other than that, it's a great game. And I'm thinking to myself, what do you mean besides performance issues? That's the game. Performance. If it runs like shit, because you just said it yourself, Sarge, when we were talking about Helldivers, if the game crashes, it makes you stop wanting to play it, right? That's part of the game. But people kind of just leave this like Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi hand wave of, oh, it's just the performance is bad, but that's it, right? And it's like, what are we talking about? That is the problem. The crux of the problem is not Borderlands 4. It's not anything the game is doing itself. It's the company, it's the industry-wide that they're using engines, and they release the games before they're optimized, before they're working, okay? So much so, Sarge, with this, okay? Do you see the headline? Borderlands 4 blasts off on Steam with record-breaking results. Incredible. And this right here is all that matters.
It's incredible.
Okay.
So exciting.
Right? So Steam-owned public stats show that Borderlands 4 is Steam's top-selling title globally in the U.S., and it has exceeded 175,000 current players to rank. So that's around, right, about 1 million people playing the game, whatever it is, right? Concurrent's 175, but it's around.
But that means pre-order. That means pre-orders.
Yeah, they bought it. Yeah, pre-order bought it. And then they're currently playing. People took off work or whatever, playing it on PC. Okay. But the problem is the fucking performance issues, which let me just tell you, let me show you. Borderlands 4, okay, the most negative reviews on Steam thanks to widespread performance problems and crashes. Now, people that don't have performance issues, they're like, well, I have no problems here. It's perfect for me. And it's like, great. Then shut up, because it's not affecting you. So continue playing. But for everybody else, that's the performance issues that are happening for. This is a problem. The game shouldn't come out broke, buggy, unfinished, which means performance. Okay, which let's go to Steam real fast and let's look at. This is not picked. Look, I'll refresh. Okay, I'll just pick it up. Let it come back in. Okay. 6.3 hours. Not recommended. None of my friends can get the game to start past the main menu. Okay. When you quit and restart, it doesn't close the original instance and still uses full memory. Okay. That's one. Next one, terrible optimization. Another Unreal Engine 5 casualty. Not worth buying on its current state unless you have a NASA PC. Okay. Well, funny to say that. My cell phone's 10,000 times faster than a NASA PC. Next one, terrible performance. Worst I've ever seen. Turned it down, low graphic presets. I couldn't hit 60 frames per second, even on the FSR upscaling on my RTX 6900. Next one, Stutters 4 review, unholy trio of pricing Unreal Engine and de novo. Okay, I've been a Borderlands fan for years. The chaos of humor, the endless loot grind, and always been about the fun. First, never too serious about Borderlands 4. It feels like Gearbox got dazzled by the Unreal Engine 5, slapped on a $70 price tag, and forgot the part where the game is supposed to actually run. Okay, next one. Warning. This is a thumbs up, by the way. This is a thumbs up. 2.1 hours. Warning. If you want above 60 frames per second, 1080p, and don't have at least a 3080, I would not buy this game. The performance and optimization of the classic Unreal Engine 5, so it runs really poorly. And that's a recommendation, by the way. Okay, I have a 3080 i70 with 12,700, 32 gigs RAM, and the SSD, averaging 60 to 90 frames per second on medium settings at 1440 with DLSS on performance. In the tutorial, the first open world section, I don't like fragment, but with this, instead, I get around 140, 160, and I haven't had any crashes. So I may be just lucky, right? So he's just letting you know you need this, right? Another one, feels like Borderlands 2 again, and I'm loving it. Tons of quests and side quests and loot everywhere, right? But he's played for 4 or 6 hours, and according to Force Gaming that I watched earlier today, he says basically the first tutorial is like 3-4 hours, so they're still in the tutorial section. Okay. Let me see the mixed reviews here. It says more mixed reviews. Yeah, mixed reviews right now. Total reviews in language, 3,000, and it's mixed right now. Okay. We can go to negative real fast, and I'm not going to read them all, but every single one of the negative reviews is optimization, performance, optimization.
These are all things that we talked about before we got any word of this at all. We talked about
before
this exactly before we talked about this before it even came out about optimizing because of Unreal Engine 4. Look, I'm not sure if it's fixable. I think I just have to write it off as there's going to be a certain amount of people that buy day one, even though you know it's broken because they can't help themselves, right? They have to have it. And the rest of us should just ignore every new game that comes out, because if you're paying full price for a half-ass game, then there's also something wrong with you. You need to have the product that you pay for, not the promise of the product that you pay for up front. I don't know how many times we need to discuss it, but if you want things to change and you have some kind of emotional control, you have to let the game rot, right? When they realize that they can't release a game that's half-assed because nobody will take them serious anymore, then you'll see how fast the game has to be tested and brought out to stuff when it comes out, as opposed to a year after, right? Because as far as I'm concerned, right, in all honesty, when a game comes out, like I like Borderlands, right? When a game comes out like Borderlands, I look at the release of Borderlands as the trailer of Borderlands is coming out. Right. That's how my brain works.
Right.
Now.
When the game launches, that's the trailer.
Once again, for those of you who are new, I'm the old guy in the room. Right. I look good because I exfoliate and I don't take a lot of sun. Right. I keep myself decent.
And no kids.
And no ball and chain.
Yep.
Right. So for me, I've seen it all and I don't care. So this is how my brain works. Oh, Borderlands 2 coming out September 12th. That's awesome. The entire time everybody's playing it and the entire time they're advertising for it, I'm looking at it as this is the trailer. Right. And then a year later, after shit's been fixed, and then I see Borderlands on sale, I go, oh, look, Borderlands is out.
Yeah.
And then I buy Borderlands because it's optimized, everything's out, and I got it for a price because it's done. Right. But people's FOMO, because their friends getting it, they got to hang out. Like, we all know this, right? And I'll be the first to tell you, I have friends right now barely, because the checks aren't clearing. I barely have friends, right? But even they call me up and like, are you getting it? I'm like, not yet. And they go, okay, let me know when you get it. Like, and then we all get it at the same time anyway. Like, so there's no difference. There's no difference. The difference is that they're allowed to give you a half-ass product for full price. Right? Now, I understand it's new and improved. I understand there's no load screens. I looked at all the shit, guys. I looked at all the benefits of Borderlands 4. Like why you'd want to get it. I checked the boxes. That sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds good. But it doesn't work. Doesn't work.
It's just yet another game that comes out and the performance doesn't work on day one. But yet, again, I'll bring this back up. Record-breaking results.
I'm happy for them. Record-breaking.
Right? Record-breaking results. Doesn't work, and they get paid for it. So why Cyberpunk? Why Battlefield? Why, insert game here, okay, where it comes out and it's not optimized or performance issues are bad, okay? And then people come out and say stuff like, well, it's not bad for me. It's not due to this. No, you're missing the point. The point is that the game comes out and it's not operational for people that are paying money for the product.
But you realize that the people who have the top-end machines, the guys who have the expendable money that they don't care, they're okay with paying full price for the half-ass product to fuck around with it because they're the kind of guy who doesn't care. Like they just want a fun game to play with their badass machine. Like I understand that. But the difference is the you want to call them the common gamer who just wants to buy a video game. If they buy the game and they put it in, it doesn't work. Like it doesn't make sense. I don't understand what you're doing with it. Like if you can't play it,
they have a solution for you, Sarge. Having Borderlands 4 on PC issues or crashes, Gearbox has some advice. Before you give me your advice, Gearbox, I have advice for you. Finish the game. Optimize it before it launches, and then I don't have to do hoop jumps to try to get it to work, right? So here's what they tell you to do if you're on PC. It says, compiling shaders. To begin with, Gearbox reminded people that it's a good idea to ensure your drivers are up to date since they're doing all alone can fix some of the issues.
How long have we been hearing about the driver updates?
Do you ever notice that people... Tim Sweeney doesn't take credit or doesn't. He says, no, it's not Unreal Engine. The developers are like, oh, no, it's not us. Nobody takes blame for anything. They're always just shoving it off to everybody else.
Yeah, but they're all making something that has to go through the same hoops as every other engine they're working with in order for it to work. So they all know something.
Right.
But when it comes to the actual accountability of what's going on, they're like, it's not us. Everybody says it's not us. But you see how this goes, though. Where's the guy? And this is the reason why we have certain jobs in government sectors that we don't have to have. Like, I don't want to pay somebody that has to babysit game companies so they're not releasing garbage. And the ESRB is trash. So now we have to make a new agency that sits in a room. They bring them the game. They have to be young kids who wear suits who went to college, and they sit there and they play the game and they go, oh, what's wrong with this? It doesn't seem to be optimized. Oh yeah, you know what we got? Well, we can't let you sell this to market because me and my 300 friends that we just downloaded your game can't play it. So you don't get to release it. Like that's what we need. Right? Like, if it goes to the agency and they can't load it on their computers, then you don't get to sell it to the general public. That's what we fucking need.
Here
I don't want it. I don't want another fucking government agency, but it appears that the gaming industry is allowed to release whatever the fuck they want with a label on it that says, we'll fix it next year. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it. We'll fix it later. See the label? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Next year.
So it says if you're running a 13th or 14th generation processor from Intel, that might cause the issues in Borderlands 4 experience. Gearbox pointed out how Intel has acknowledged some instability issues with also can cause your PC to slow down, crash, or overheat, or see large spikes of CPU usage. You can follow Intel's instructions here. So they knew this was happening, and they said, go ahead. Let's go gold, right?
Let me ask you a question. In every other consumer industry, everything we have, every product we have, the BBB is involved. The BBB is involved. Like, you buy a dishwasher and it blows up in your fucking garage, someone's calling somebody, right? You're hey, Better Business Bureau. The fucking dishwasher, the washing machine just blew up in my fucking garage. All right, name of the company, let's hear let me see the warranty. Let's see this. We have to call the company first. All right, well, I'll call the company first. Get another one. That one floods. It floods the whole garage. Okay, so apparently this has got problems, right?
Yep. Gaming has problems.
Gaming, nothing. You're allowed to release whatever. Whatever is allowed to come out, we'll fix it later. That's a staple.
This right here is self-checkout, right? You know what I'm saying? Like when you go to the store, you got to self-checkout yourself. Here is, oh, it's not working. Don't worry. We didn't want to optimize it for you, but here's some workarounds for it, right? You could just do the display overlays, game overlays, cost performance issues and crashes. You can run as an administrator or check antivirus or firewalls and stuff like that. Like, what are we talking about, right? And then here's the last thing, Sarge. And this is actually what you were talking about earlier. Is it better to be patient, gamer, or is it playing new games at launch just that too enticing? Okay.
The answer is
we are our own problem. The reason that games come out broke, buggy, and unfinished, okay, is because
us.
People keep buying broke, buggy, and unfinished games. And because, let me go back to this. Let me go back right here. Record-breaking results, right? Record-breaking results because you keep buying it, so they're just going to keep putting it out there for you. Why would they change it? Okay, so let's read this. Okay, Borderlands 4 just launched. Predictably, players on Steam are already criticizing its PC performance. Meanwhile, just released Hollow Knight Silksong didn't raise any performance concerns, but gamers in China were also dismayed to discover a Chinese translation was botched, so people gave it a down vote for there. Those were a couple of reasons for some gamers have chosen to reject launch day hype in favor of patient gaming. Hey, how are you? I don't need to buy it day one, week one, month one, year one. Okay.
Well, what that actually means is now they're noticing. I'll say us. They're noticing us. They're noticing a percentage of people that don't buy it, and so they still don't care yet. When they will care, is when the pre-order numbers are really low.
20% starts to
when the pre-order numbers are really low. Now, to be fair, right, the argument somebody from left field is going to come out and say, "Well, Sarge, if no one buys the game when it comes out, then the studio is going to close down." And my answer to that is yes.
Yeah, right. Good.
That's correct.
Yeah,
because in every other aspect of your fucking life, I know maybe some of you don't care because gaming's like this thing and everything else of the world doesn't matter. But when you go out into the world and you need services from people, and you're going to need services, and I'm not talking about sexual services, I'm talking about everything else.
Yeah,
home, auto, health, everything. When you got onto the world and you start looking for services, people to service you, you're going to be looking at how they treat you, right? That's how it works. Is the mechanic going to fuck me? Is the doctor going to give me pills I don't need?
Is she hot?
Right. All kinds of questions are going to happen. But the funny thing is that you don't ask the same question about your entertainment because you don't care, because you want the time out from the rest of the world. Too many choices, too many things. I just want to play my video game. That's correct. Back in the day, that was 100% correct. The world sucks. I'll get my video game and everything's fine. I 100% agree with you. But now, Big Daddy Corpo owns your hobby, right? It's not about guys like you are making games for you. It's corpos are in charge of everything, selling you shit on a day-to-day basis. And you lap it up like a little dog that's thirsty, right? You don't care, right? So now if your mentality was, well, I just want to relax with my games, but at the same time you realize that the real world is still fucking you inside your hobby and you're okay with it, then we need you.
Yeah.
Don't stop playing. We need you because I need you to keep these studios open long enough for them to patch the game a year later and make the game that I want to actually play. And so your funds are funding my hobby. And so I need a good number of you brain damaged people out there to buy day one, love it, don't ask for anything else, and just tell them how bad it is, and then go play the next new game that comes out 2 weeks later. I love it that you're doing that for me. I appreciate it. I want you to know that. I appreciate you taking one for the team.
Here it says, waiting a year or more to play new games, which means getting them cheaper during a sale or playing them after the bunch of big performance or quality of life patches have likely made them much better than they were at launch. There's even a pretty achieved subreddit dedicated to this idea. The main rule is if you're not allowed to post about the games that are under a year old. Perfect. Okay, but there's also a reason that HBO's servers sometimes struggle with Sunday night demand on high Game of Thrones popularity. Wow, that's a really throwback. It was like 8 years old ago. There's something special about being there on day one before they edit out the Starbucks cups or reaching an emoting with the crowd. As I write, nearly 200,000 people are already playing Borderlands 4 on Steam just hours after it released on what it is for me Thursday morning. Clearly, being a part of the launch day hubbub outweighs the benefits of waiting in for a lot of people. And I don't think it's just because the publisher manufactured FOMO. I'm curious to know how PC gamer readers feel about the trade-off. Do you usually take a wait-and-see approach to game launches, or do you preloading every time? Do you have any regrets planning the launch, or because of later improved? Let us know.
Preload.
Right? So I think I've said this myself. If a game comes out and it's an early access game, like right now, Grounded's an early access game. Jump Space is coming out as an early access game. Dragon Wild says early access game. I'm okay with getting these games if they look interesting and I'm interested in that game. And they're like, hey, you can play this game early. Just to know, it's early access. It's a preview program. It's still in working. Like, we're still working on it. So you're going to have bugs and glitches, but we're only going to sell it to you for $20. I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a go, right? Because that's telling you, hey, look, we're still working on this, but if you'd like to help us out, we'll sell it to you for a third of the price, sometimes a fourth of the price now because it's not $80, okay? And you're like, okay, cool. You know going into that game, if it crashes, if it breaks, you're like, they told me this was going to happen. I went in. AAA gaming studios don't do this. AAA gaming studios charge you 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 150, 200, 300 for special edition, okay? And they do exactly what the alphas do or the early access or the betas do because they're broke, buggy, and unfinished. And when you buy that for full price, they're like, aha, got them. Thank you so much for everyone, for 2 million of you for playing our game. We're so happy and we're so excited and we're the best. And people see that online. They go, wow, 2 million people bought the game. It must be good. So then they go out and buy the game. And then it comes back and it's still broke, buggy, and unfinished. And we're talking about week 1. We're talking about month 1. And we're talking about 6 months in. And they still haven't fixed the game. Why would they? Why would they fix the game? Why would Cyberpunk fix their game right after launch? Be like, we've been working too hard on this game. It didn't work at launch. 2 years later, they fixed it. And everyone's like, oh, thanks, man. Thanks for making a great game. Yeah, 2 years later. Battlefield 2042. Hey, thanks for your support. We really love it. Shittiest game, yet 12 million people bought it. And that was the worst selling, right, Battlefield game in the recent history. And they're like, oh, it was so bad. You know, nobody played it. But yet everyone talked about it, played it, promoted it, did all the stuff. And only when people started saying, it's a little fucked up, it's bad, they're like, yeah, you know what, you're right. I'm not going to. Here we are, 4 years later, still fixing the patches in the game of Battlefield 2042.
And I'll use the same defense all the time. If it was any other profession and you released a shitty product, you'd be out of business.
You'd be
that's
closed.
That's how it works. You're out of business.
I'm a plumber. I come to your house. I only put 3/4 of the pipe in, and I leave.
I don't use sealant. It ruins the wall, floods your house. Yeah. Like, you're done.
Hey, what happened to that plumber that I called last year? He's out of business.
You're going to be sued. You're going to be out of business. Yeah. Now, you're not going to get sued as a game designer because you're not causing any trouble but emotional damage. And we know that emotional damage is not that big a deal.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, we know that emotional damage is not that big a deal in gaming. But if you call someone a name out in public now, you get sued, depending on what country you're in. But gaming can insult you and everything's fine. Like that seems to be the joke, right? When are you going to realize that you are catering to a bad business model? You are getting people to sell you a substandard product you're paying full price for, and you're okay with it.
And they're doing what you're asked for. They're giving you a shit product.
I don't know what you want. Everyone complains, but you're not going to get the answer that you want because you are contributing to the actual problem. If you want quality games, if you want them to cater to you, because I know most of you once or twice a year, you're like, man, I really wish it was this type of game. I really wish it was like this type of game, like the game you have in your head, right? Why don't we have one of those games? It's very simple, because they don't have to make it, because you're eating kibble, right? You like kibble, right? You don't care about what food you give your dog. You like kibble, so give him kibble, right? You'll eat it. I don't care. I'm hungry. I don't care. I want kibble. You got it. You got kibble. Yep. But the indie guys, you see what the indie guys do? They release a alpha. They want people to test it. Why? Because they don't have enough money to have their own testers. So they use the community
marketing as well.
100%, right? Yep. They know that if the game is good, Their friends will talk to their friends, which is free marketing. So free testers, free marketing, right? Then you get feedback, actual feedback, because you have guys that actually care about those type of games that indie guys release. And so they give you the feedback. This isn't working properly. Your HUD's no good. Your UI is substandard. You need to do this, this, and this. And they'll give you like the list. This game did it. This game did it. Go look at those games. Go play those games, and you'll see what we're talking about. And then the indie game comes out. They charge a lesser price, not because they're trying to hurt the industry, but because they don't have 9,000 people working on the fucking game. Yeah. 9,000 chat, 9,000. Okay, and you think you're gonna make their fucking money back, right?
They have 3 people. 3 people made Silksong.
Right. 3 people. If they sell 2 million copies, 3 million copies, that's life-changing money. Their life is changed forever.
Yeah.
And they think to themselves, I made something, and they actually liked it, right? So now do you think in their heads they're going, you know what we should do? I can't wait. We made 12 million, right? What we should do, hear me out. We should sell out to EA, make more money. Like you think that's the arc? That's the arc of the indie? He goes, he makes money, he made something great that he loves, and then he goes, I can't wait to sell out to a corpo. Which corpo wants us, right? And they're looking for the sequel. And then EA, they come flying by and they're like, hey, buddy. Hi. How you doing?
No.
Yeah. Big John Stud. EA, how you doing? Yeah.
Big John Stud.
I look around and I kind of see the indie guys, see what they're doing, and we saw what you did. You did a great job. When they talk to you like you're a child, you know you're fucked, right? That's how you know you're fucked. When they talk to you like, hey, we really like what you did. Why don't you come by the office and we'll discuss some terms in case you guys want to, do things a little bit differently and get a bigger paycheck. Here's my card. And they get all excited, start foaming at the mouth, and then they realize when they're sitting in the chair and they're throwing all the zeros at them, right? And they go, I don't know, maybe if we just make another game ourselves and hire 2 more people, have 5 people instead of 3 people.
Right.
And then Big John Stud goes, we're going to knock the shit out of this game. This is what we're going to do. First of all, we're going to let your guys go on vacation for 6 weeks. Then you 2 are going to come back. You're going to talk to our team of 200 people, and they're going to pre-start your game.
And we have an espresso machine.
Right, and then after the 200 people pre-start your game, in a year and a half, you're going to come back and see if the 200 people liked it or not, what the 200 people did. And then once you say yes, we're bringing in 1,500 more people to make your fucking game the best it can fucking be. You in? Are you in? It's like the fucking the hard sales from back in the day.
It's like Leonardo DiCaprio from Wall Street.
Buy it. Right. That's exactly what it's like. Like every indie guy that does well, a corpo comes swooping in like, hey, buddy, we can do this for you. Like, that's what's happening. What's happening. Look at every franchise you've ever loved. Look at them.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. They come in and they completely change it. They're like, oh, we just want to make a small indie game. No. Let's get 1,500 people. Let's bring it up to $300 million, and we'll sell it for $80 a pop, and we'll do the pre-order bonus and stuff. And you're like, we just wanted to make a game. We just wanted to make a game.
Bro, if 3 people can make that game, then 25 people can make a Final Fantasy. And then after 25 people, you could do 100 people to make whatever the fuck game you want, as long as the team has cohesion. Right? That's the whole game. You're not making widgets. It's not a thing that you can just set the machine, walk away, and it's like ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. And after like 6 years, you're going to get yourself a game. That's not how this works. Games are done in phases, right? The construction phase, the preamble phase, what kind of story you want phase. Like no one's drawn shit yet. They're drawn by hand, right? They're just trying to figure stuff out. What we want to do. Now, if I have 1,500 fucking people discussing what we want the game to be, I got news for you. I can't get 4 people to agree with anything when we go out to do anything. And right. You think when there's money on the line and people have ideas and we're trying to actually get together and decide on something, you think that's going to fucking work? 1,500 people don't have a fucking prayer. That's why you have to have the director. And the director comes down with his golden parachute. He comes down, he lands every Monday, and he goes, hey, guys, you want to see my new car? No? well, let's see what you guys did this weekend. How's the game? Yeah, good.
Can
Good.
just hurry up?
That
I got
sounds
12
good.
o'clock on the course.
Todd, how's
Yeah.
yeah, good idea. I'm getting good vibes. Yeah. Teresa, you want a nose ring? I'm sure we can fit it in. Keep it coming. And then he jumps out the fucking window with his little jetpack and he goes on vacation again while they do another 2 years of whatever the fuck just happened. No one decided on anything.
Yep.
And then you end up with a fucking anthem. Like, what are we talking about?
Hey, Sarge is in prime order. We're now going to speaking of phases, we're going to go to our next phase of talking about we're going to blend in Helldivers, Star Wars, and Destiny. Are you ready for this, Sarge? Here we go.
No, need pills.
Okay. Helldivers 2 leak reveals Star Wars inspired super weapon. Okay. So the reason I'm bringing this up, Sarge, is because there's Star Wars amongst everything here. Now, this is just a rumor. And here's the rumor of inside of Helldivers right now. There is, do they not have it here? Did they take it down? Oh, there it is.
Death Star.
Okay. There is a picture. Okay. This was data mined, and we don't know if it's true yet, but a planet-sized super weapon constructed by automatons following a construction of factory worlds. All right, the device will build around a single annihilation cannon, likely capable of destroying a planet. It's a Death Star, right? It's a Death Star. So my thing is, we just got Halo ODST, right? They did Killzone inside of there as well. They have a Judge Dredd outfit in there as well.
It's every sci-fi thing that
it's making
together.
fun of Starship Troopers, all the stuff, aliens, all the things, right? Terminator. So if and when, because there is a mod for Helldivers right now that you can be Star Wars. Now, the reason I'm bringing up Star Wars is because Destiny also has Star Wars, but they inspired by, okay, for Destiny. So I want to actually ask you, where does the line get drawn, Sarge, as far as Star Wars and Disney dishing out Star Wars like it's a whore, and they're just putting it in everything now, right? They're using it as a brand. Instead of making games themselves, they license out all their stuff to other people, not to make a game, but to put the likeness of stuff in their games, right? So is it okay for Helldivers, if they do this, to have Star Wars-related cosmetics inside of Helldivers, and is it also okay to put it in other games like maybe Call of Duty or Destiny and whatever not?
Well, first of all, I think the gun should be lower. It should be a ball with a penis, I think is what it should be. It shouldn't be sticking out the
can't
side.
they just tilt it down? That would be lower.
No, I know.
Oh, you're saying no, lower on the...
circles,
Yeah, I got you.
You see the circles, right? Like the Death Star is off center, right?
It should be
It's
two
done on
balls.
purpose. This one's right.
With the shaft.
It should be what it should
I got you.
Right.
Gotcha.
So because just be objective and use common sense and logic and just look at this from afar. Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm, and everybody over there in Disneyland have completely and totally gutted Star Wars to the point where nobody blinks, nobody cares. So if you're not making money on Star Wars, according to the book says that you need to make money on Star Wars. So how do we make money on Star Wars? Well, we license things from Star Wars to other people, and then that way they'll still have the visions of Star Wars in their games, even though it's not called Star Wars, but they'll still be thinking of us. And so the corporate guys think that, well, that's just advertising for us then. So they'll keep it in their mind. So when we make our next project and it's fresh in their head, they'll come back running because they love what we do. Right? So now you see Destiny doing it. You see Helldivers doing it, and I'm 100% sure Disney is licensing Star Wars stuff to whoever they can because
they're going into Fortnite. Yeah, they paid $1.5 billion to put their Disney stuff inside of Fortnite. Next year, you can start making your own Star Wars game with inside Fortnite itself.
Absolutely fine. It's fine. The issue I have is the honor amongst businesses from back when we were kids, when people had an IP. Right, and an upstart created something from scratch, and it was something that they built from nothing. Like you held on to your IP, you held on to your baby, basically. That's yours. I created this; it's mine. Right? We sell it. We do what we want with it. We have a good following with it, and they respected their own product. When the corporations took over, and the idealistic artists that we grew up with have moved on or passed on, you're left with shells of people and numbers running the game. Like you're selling stuff because the stock has to go up, not because we made a good product. It's the stock has to go up. It's the corporate salute. That's what this is. So if you expect to have any soul in something, just don't anymore, because they don't care about their product. They're just looking to make money on the product, which is why they license it out, right? You could say it's not lack of trying. I mean, how many times have they tried Disney stuff? It just doesn't work. How many times have they tried Marvel stuff? It just doesn't work because they can't find that modern audience, bro. They can't find out who these estranged people are that are wandering the planet with short haircuts, purple hair, and nose rings. They can't find 46 million of them to buy their product. So instead, they call everybody else racist because we won't buy the product. I like Star Wars. I used to love Destiny, but they sell out their product.
Right. So this would be a seller for you, right? Star Wars and Destiny combined together.
It is
finally.
I mean, sure, if someone had made a Star Wars game that had the Destiny engine or the Destiny mechanics in it.
The mechanics, yeah.
If I was Bungie, if you really wanted to get back into your own good graces, you would sell the code for your first person shooting. Like you would sell that code to as many first person people as possible and just make a boatload of money and then go independent again. because that's what they really want. They want to roll the dice for a fourth time. Yeah. I know they're done now. Yeah. I know they're done.
Real quick, Quebsy says, any game can have a crossover if the crossover is grounded in the game's world thematically. Beavis and Butthead didn't thematically match Black Ops 6, but Splinter Cell in Rainbow Six thematically fits. Here's my thing. I think you're correct and also not correct in the same thing, because I've said this earlier in the week with Destiny. I don't think Star Wars needs to be in Destiny, and definitely Destiny doesn't need to be in Star Wars. I think Sony, and I brought up Concord, they wanted Concord to be the next Star Wars, their Star Wars of the stuff. And they're idiots because they literally had their Star Wars right here. They paid for it, full stop. They paid for Destiny. The story of Destiny, they could have made their Star Wars. They could have done what they wanted. They could have had an awesome movie. They still can, potentially. Okay, they could do a Destiny movie. They could make a TV series. They have books and comics. They could do all this stuff. Bungie wanted to do all this stuff. I think that Bungie has lost what their identity is. And I said this when they had the last year's Star Wars stuff come in. I don't believe that Bungie needed Destiny, or I'm sorry, I don't think Bungie needed Destiny to have Star Wars thematically come in, because Destiny stands alone on its own. It's a good brand. It's a good IP that they ruined. And I think this, in my opinion, does the exact same thing as what Call of Duty is. Now, I know people will disagree with me because they look at Beavis and Butthead, but what I'm saying is you're bringing outside IPs that are well-known, and you're bringing them into this universe, or you're bringing this inspiration as inspired by or whatnot, when you didn't even need to do this. You could have just done your own thing, okay, and it would have been fine. I disagree with their Star Wars team-up, personally. I don't think they should have done it. I don't think Disney should do this, because I think this is worse for Disney than it is for Destiny. Let me put it that way, right? I think Disney whoring out Disney Star Wars and putting it into everything possible, not to make their own standalone game, but to be like, oh, you want to use Darth Vader? Yeah, you can have Darth Vader in your game. That hurts the brand even more, because they don't know what to do with the brand anymore. They're like, what do we do? No one wants to see our stuff. But the older guys play those games, and they like Darth Vader, and they like lightsabers, so let's put it in this game where they're playing. And that, to me, just it hurts the brand even more for Disney than it does for Destiny.
You understand though that the people in charge of destroying the brands that we know still have not admitted that they destroyed the brands. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Like everything that's going on,
they'll never admit
right? They're never going to admit that they were the ones that destroyed it. They have blamed everybody else.
Said, well, we don't know how to get the Gen Zs back to watch our stuff. It's like, I don't know. How about you make movies and good stories again? That's a start.
I think it's just sad to see the I think over the years, these teams of people, the devs, have been made to make the games that the corpos wanted, that thought that they could sell, and in doing so, I think they have stifled their individuality and their creativity amongst each other. And so they don't sit around in a room anymore discussing what people would like or what they would like. You know, they go by the numbers. They're like, well, we need a game that does this, 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 and this. So we have to make it this way, which means we have to use this engine, which means we have to use these assets. Like, that's how they talk. And so once again, I'll say it again. You're not making widgets. The best games that we ever saw were people who took a fucking chance on something, whether they won or not. They took the chance. Every great series that
Bungie
happened
took a chance on Halo.
Took a chance, right? Once you are controlled by corpos, you cannot take chances. You are bound by the stock price and by shareholders. And do you think shareholders like me, who have never played any games ever, give a shit about what kind of game you like? All they know is this game go up, this game go down. We want this game go up. Many of this game go up. That's how they care. That's all they care about. Every 4 times a year, I get a sheet of paper. It tells me what they're doing and if it's good or not. And I decide whether or not I'm keeping the goddamn stock or not, right? The gaming companies that I have stock in, I've shorted most of them because I know where they're going, right? It's easy for me when you're in the industry. Like, I understand it all. I've been playing it for years. I'm like, what are they making? What do they think about making? When is it coming out? Right? And so I'm like, Ubisoft was a no-brainer, right? Once Ubisoft jumped off the cliff, I was like, I'm shorting Ubi like a motherfucker. Like, I don't care. They're going bye-bye, right? We make our money. That's how I think. That's the corpo mindset, because I don't care. I don't care about the company anymore. Right. I care about how much money I'm making. So
and they don't care about the company either. They just care about how much money they're making.
Take me times 100 million people in the world, and we're all looking at the same thing. We're like this. What are you doing over there? What are you making? We're making this kick-ass RPG where you get to make your own dragon, and the dragon can change into different armor types depending on who you fight. And like, we don't know what the fuck that is. What about that game over there that's selling stuff for like $5 a pop? Can you make another one of those?
Right.
Like, that's how they talk, right?
Yeah.
Gaming, as you understand it, when you sit in your living room and you're happy playing your game, the person who came up with the game you're playing in the last 5 years, trust me, did not want to make that game. The ones that did want to make that game are the ones who get lambasted and dissed online immediately, like Hollow Knight, Silk Song, right? And Baldur's Gate 3. And any game that goes outside of the box and does well, not following the corporal mentality, they get very upset. They go, whoa. You guys
in line.
Yeah, you guys can't come in here and start selling product in artistic form and have people love it. Where's your microtransactions? Where's your industry standards? Right? You don't have industry standards? Like, no, we came up with the game ourselves. We did really well. Well, they can't have that. So then the corporals go to outside. They call all their friends in the media and they say, listen, you got to do something about this. We can't have games like this come out. We can't having them know that a great game can be released for $40 or $50 with teams of under 100 people, because I got 3 yachts. I got to have people on here. I got to have people on payroll so I can milk those numbers out of those people to get my boat. Like, this is what we're talking about, right? If you want gaming to go back the other way, you guys have to, and I know most of you do, you have to go online, look at the indies, see what they're doing, see who's got the edge, who's willing to try shit, and follow those guys. And when they decide to come out with something, keep your ear out and make sure you're paying attention, whether it be on Steam, because a lot of those guys don't make it to console because they got to make it through the corporate ladder. Like, Steam will give those guys a chance
to make it on PC platform. Yeah,
Steam will give those guys a chance because they know they're up and coming. They want it, whether it be brand new kids right now who've been coding for the last 5 years. Let's say they were coding since they were 16 or 17 years old, and now they're 21, 22, and they're looking for a job. And they're not like hardcore. They're not like the best there is, but they have talent. They have talent, right? It's like putting a band together, right? You might have guys who are really good at what they do, but they can't get together.
Right, they don't gel.
Yeah. Right, they can't. They literally can't get together. You don't know they exist.
No, that's what I'm saying. They need that person. They need to find the team to gel with. That's what I'm saying.
There might be like 6 or 7 guys in Boca Raton who are fucking amazing at coding, and they love Unreal Engine 5. They know the ins and outs, but no one's calling them on the phone. And if they put an application in somewhere, their experience is 0, and they don't give a shit. So like you got to put like the homegrown bands together first. They have to do something like a Silk Song, right? And then they get noticed, and then other people are attracted like a moth to a flame. Like talent attracts talent, right? That's how Bungie got built. That's how most of these companies got built.
Well, that's why they make those awesome cinematic trailers, because most of the time that's to go, hey, they're making that game. I want to work for that company.
Right, I'm interested. I'm interested.
Yes,
I'm interested in doing what they're doing there.
That's why they show you the trailer 5 years out, because that game's not even close to being like right now.
Because they need people to actually do it.
Right now, right. CD Projekt Red showed Witcher 4, right? In the demo test, or the tech demo, right? That's not for us. That's for investors, and that's for people that they can hire to be like, oh my God, I want to work on that game. Right. I would love to work on it.
They're allowing you to watch a commercial that they give to investors, but they tell you that it's a trailer for a game, right? That's the hook, because it hypes you up, but really what they're hunting for is talent, right? That's the whole thing. That's the whole game. So when you have these independents, you need to grow them. You have to grow them. If you don't, but the issue you have is if they come fresh out of school and they go right into a corpo job, and they realize 6 months in that they're being told what to do, as opposed to being asked what you want to do. And once you're in there for years and you get a steady paycheck, very hard to leave, because now I got a car, because now I got a house, because now I have a wife, now I've got a kid. So now I can't have the idealism anymore. I can't have I really wanted to make an action adventure game starring like whatever, like a hobbit on stilts who fires lasers out of his eyes. Like,
sounds great. Sounds fantastic.
Right? Whatever he thought up, right? He has a whole backstory about it, and all he's looking for is 4 guys to tell him about it, and for them to make a side scroller about it. And then, lo and behold, the short guy on stilts with laser shooting in his eyes does really well, and then 3 years later, it becomes a first-person shooter, right? Like that's how things progress.
Right.
Everybody that you talk to today, and every game you ever see, they want it to be Spider-Man 2 the day it comes out. They want it to be Skyrim the day it comes out. They want it to be the best game ever that ever existed to beat whatever's out now right now. Like, you don't even have those guys. They're not even in your studio. You didn't even make them yet.
All right, real quick, let me do a super chat here. Ray says, stock investor, where can I buy the Team Cherry stocks? Thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Right. A question I have here, Sarge, why did Bungie and Destiny have to reach out to Star Wars if it's inspired by Star Wars? Why would you have to ask permission? Because you could just make a light sword. It's not called. No, but what I'm saying is,
Disney's like Nintendo. In that instance, Disney's
no,
like
it's not. You can make a light sword.
Nintendo.
You can make a light sword as long as it doesn't look like the lightsaber, right? You can make
a
ship
that
looks like
doesn't look like a lightsaber. How do you do that?
Well, you can't use what I'm saying is you can't use the ones they use in the movies or the shows. You can make a new design for the lightsaber, right? Like if the hilt doesn't look like something that was in the movies, you can get away with that. There's other games that have light swords.
The only reason why Destiny's even getting away with making a Star Wars thing is 2 reasons mandatory. Lucas said yes. Lucasfilm said yes, let's do this, right? And number 2, everybody who played Destiny, including us,
was a Star Wars fan.
Said the entire time we were playing it.
Yeah, I wish this was Star Wars.
If there was Star Wars characters in this game, it would be the best game ever.
Yeah, right? I said if this was a Star Wars, Marvel, or Transformers game,
it would be the best game.
It'd be awesome.
So now they're out of ideas. We all know they're creatively bankrupt. It's been proven. They proved it to us. Okay. And so now we're at the point where you have to do whatever you can to hold on to people and bring some people back. And I know for a fact that people who like Star Wars still, secretly in the back of their heads, even though they hate everything that's been coming out, will go back to play Destiny because it's got Star Wars shit in it. I know that. I mean, I guess. Sure. I mean, I'm not saying it's a huge number. I'm not saying it's a huge
There's
number,
people that do the
they're going
mods for Starfield, like myself. There's people that do the mods for Helldivers with Star Wars. There's people that do mods for other things with Star Wars in it. Star Wars still has interest. I just look at Destiny and go, they're hurting that bad that they had to go dip back into Star Wars, huh? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's called desperation.
Yeah.
Right? They're hemorrhaging people. Right? Your product is not unlimited money. Right? You're not producing money. You're producing a video game. Right? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I know there's going to be an uptick, but the issue remains is if the mobile, because the mobile version of Destiny came out, right? How long has it been out?
2 weeks,
right? If the mobile portion of Destiny, and I know it will, when it surpasses Destiny numbers, right? They don't give a shit about Destiny anymore. Those guys, they'll focus 100% on the mobile Destiny. What is it called?
Exactly right, Cubsy. Right? It's not like Bungie is okay with stealing our. Oh wait, right? They could have just taken Star Wars. They could have just put Star Wars in the game. They're used to stealing stuff. It's funny. I was watching the video of Destiny's Star Wars thing, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds great for Outlaws. Like Outlaws could have been that game,
absolutely,
right? But now Outlaws is inside of Destiny, and
absolutely.
It's just I don't know. It's just weird.
I mean, I would really have loved to see a good Star Wars game.
Yeah, I think we all would.
The Fallen Order one I thought was good. That was a good take on it.
I think Outlaws could have been great. The Outlaws is like Marvel's Avengers. It could have been great, but it was just underwhelming. Like they nailed the look, they nailed the setting, they nailed all that stuff, but the gameplay just.
Well, I mean, just take it from a slice, right? If you advertise your game for stealth, vehicles, and shooting, those are the three things you picked, and then when the game comes out, stealth, shooting, and vehicles all suck. Like the mainstay of your game,
stealth, shooting, and vehicle all suck.
It just didn't do well. So if the things you actually were promising that you were doing in the game you don't do well, then I don't know what leg do you have to stand on that you want people to play this game, right? You have to remember, once it's exhausting. Once they realized the amount of money that could be made from a video game and the corpos started taking over, once they realized that, they no longer started with AA type games or A type games with a studio of guys that just started. If they got talent in the room, they discussed what they were going to do, and they had one guy teach 10, right? And trying to get them to learn what they needed to learn in order to understand the engine that they were working in, like Unreal Engine 5 or whatever engine they were working with. Instead of, if you brought together 150 or 200 people that have never worked together before, you would do like a side scroller or something to build team morale, like something that they could work on together, that they would release in 2 years. It would go onto the indie block. Everyone would just stay quiet. It would get a following, and then you can make the sequel to that. But lo and behold, corpos never want the starting gate. They just want the finish line. They don't care about building teams and building decent games and building up a following. They will either want the game to be a hit as soon as it comes out because it copies other games that are a hit, or in case of emergencies, they go out and they buy the IP itself, put their own spin on it, and then release it as their own because they want to make all the money. There is no in between. There's no building here. No one's building teams. You want to take from one person and bring it into another team, and they're supposed to make gold. We want gold, right? If you're not making gold, then we're firing you, right? How secure and how's your mental facets? If you're someone in the industry and you've been in the industry now for let's say you're a new guy, you've been in there 15 years, the last 15 years. So you're on the tail end of everything that was ever good, right? You were working good. You're at a studio that did well. And now you're in a place where if the game doesn't sell X number and we don't make this number, you're done. Like you're fired. Then you have to find another job. Now you got 2 kids and a mortgage, right? Like, how are you supposed to feel about this? That if no matter what I do, because I'm told what to do, no matter what I do, if we don't hit this number, you're fired.
Yeah.
How do you expect someone to stay sane in that job? Now, I know you're going to say that's the job, but no one's saying you're supposed to get a job forever. But at the same time, there wasn't the ultimatum, which was 30 million copies or you're fired. Like that's not you don't get to choose who buys the game.
No, I understand that, and that's exactly what I look at developers as, the people that are working on movies, right? If the movie makes $1 billion, I don't get paid more. I got paid my salary for making the movie.
What have we been arguing, bro? The devs get their paycheck.
Yeah, they make their money.
Tom, Sally, and Gene get 85 grand a year.
They got paid
right?
every week.
They got paid
bi-weekly,
85
monthly,
grand a year.
whatever
They get
it is.
85 grand a year, and if they sell 30 million copies, you get a $10,000 bonus. You know they're not gonna sell 30 million copies, but they put that on the cake, right?
No.
It's part of the cake. Now you say
that's why they put the scores, not actual sales.
That's correct. That's correct, right? Because you can buy numbers. I can buy a review, right? How can you tie it to a number of a review instead of the sales? Right? Think how evil that shit is. Right? We've been talking about this the whole time. What are those people supposed to do? What are they supposed to do?
They just do their. You would hope in a society that you just do your job, and then the job. You make a game, you sell the game. Once that game sells, you did your job.
And we all
no matter if that game sells, if it sells or doesn't sell, you still have your job for the next game because the company took that money and invested it back into the company, whatever it is.
That's the same realm as we all win, we all lose. We're all in
correct,
together.
but the difference is,
but if you give the developers 85 grand a year, okay, and then after they're done making the game, we only sell 8 million copies. Now wait a minute. They only sell 8 million copies, so they fire me.
Yep.
But because of all the MTX inside the game, they're making 100 million more,
right?
That I don't get to see. That goes into the pockets of the bigwigs because of all the microtransactions that we bought.
Sold less.
That's
so
not part of the salary. That's not part
exactly
of the salary. That's all extra shit. So now you're fired, and I also get to keep all the money, that revenue that this game makes for the life of this game.
Correct.
How is there not people burning down studios at this point? How?
Yeah, well, it's because when it comes down to it, you want to keep your job, so you're going to do what you're told, and you're not going to speak up because you're like, I still have a job.
Well,
I just saw an article.
They're burning people out, bro.
That more than
showing.
I think it's more than 50% or 65% of the people that lost their job were all in California. More than half of the people that lost their job in the video game industry are all from California.
I'm telling you, people are getting burnt out, bro. They're getting burnt out. What little people who are vetted, like the people who are vetted, who know the ins and outs of the engines they're currently working with, and the people that they know, right, are getting burnt out. And when those people go, there's nobody here left to teach these kids what to do. They're gonna have to teach themselves, right? I don't hear about some kind of master class opening up somewhere in some state that we teach all the engines. Come with us, we will get you a job. Like Indeed for tech people, like there isn't anybody.
Well, I like what you guys are saying about Obsidian. Like the reason I always say you can't always have the top seller, best seller, game of the year type of stuff, right?
You don't know.
And because games take so long, and if someone leaves, the machine's still working. The machine is still making those games, and you're going to have off years. Now, let's look at Obsidian. They made 3 games in 1 year, okay? If one of those games makes money for Obsidian and for Microsoft, that's a win, right? So let's say Grounded 2 doesn't make money, Avowed didn't make money, and Outer Worlds 2 doesn't make money, but Grounded 2 makes a shit ton of money. Well, Grounded 2 pays and saves, and they're like, oh, well, we made... Because the end goal for Obsidian is their salute, the corporate salute is up, so they get to make the next Outer Worlds 3 or Grounded 3 or Avowed 2 or whatever it is, because it doesn't matter if that one game makes it, as long as the company itself is profitable at the end of the year. And they just keep going. And they're like, well, we just insert this person here as the director, and we'll just make it through. And if we lose something, it's okay because people buy it day one. If it doesn't matter if it's broke or buggy, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It doesn't matter if it's a 90 or an 85 or an 80. We're just going to put it out there and get it out there and out the door.
But in the old days, you started small. You made a game that was successful, like you said before. When you made that money, you invested it back in the company. Now you either said it's a one and done, right? We collected our money. It's a one and done. Let's say it's a small studio. Let's say it's 15 people, right? We made a game. It sold pretty well. We all walked away with $1 million.
Yep.
Okay. We all walked away with $1 million. Now you say to yourself, okay, so do you guys want to do another one? Do you guys want to try to do another one? Or is this a one and done thing? Now this is going to happen across the board. Bell curve, right? You're going to have two or three guys that say, yeah, let's do this. You're going to have 2 or 3 guys that say, I'm out.
Yeah. I don't want to work on the same game
I'm
over
good.
again. Right.
I'm good. I don't want to do this again. Like it was fun working with you, but I made my money and we're good. And then the other 6, 8 people in the middle, They're like, well, we don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what happens. That's what happens when you don't have the necessity to have to do it again. You have all this apathy about everything. Like, I don't know, maybe we'll see. Anytime anyone says that to you at all, they could just consider them out. No matter what you're talking about, they're out, because it's a yes is definite. I'm in, right? Anything else is a no. Doesn't matter what they say. If you guys were ever in sales before, if anybody ever says anything else, you know it's a no, right? They just trying to bait the hook and go on long. That's on and on and on. It's a no. In the gaming industry, same thing. So if you don't have a director, you don't have a designer guy who's in charge, who says, you guys can do this. We can do this. We can get 20 more people and we can make 10 times as much money. Who's in? Who's with me? Right?
Right.
We'll,
Cherry Maguire.
Who's coming with me? We'll rent a warehouse. We'll take some of our money. We'll rent a warehouse, right? We'll make our own place. We'll pump out of the game. Like, that's what they did.
I mean, that's basically
what they did.
Yeah, DICE left and they Embark, and now Embark has 2 games. They have the finals and they have Arc Raiders coming out. They're just starting again, and they're doing their
what you should be thinking. What you should be saying to yourself every day, if you ever get, whether the game is broke or not at all, right? Think of it this way: if you get a game that you actually like, that you actually play for more than a couple hours, that actually brings you some kind of peace of mind because your life is shitty at the moment, right? You are the luckiest person alive. Why? Because the amount of variables needed for that team of people to come up with that idea, stay the entire time, nobody got shot, nobody left, nobody did anything else, and the game actually released on time, okay, and came out and it broke or and you, it's a win for you. You're the luckiest person ever, right? The amount of variables it takes to make a game is incredible. Yeah. The part that should bother you is they're trying to put that in a mold and say, we could do this every time. I could do this all day. We can make, what you give us $10 million. I'll make any game you want. Like, I'll just put it inside the machine and we could chunk, and we're going to make it. Like, that's not how this works. That's not how this works.
Well, let's go to the next story, which is Game Pass can't cash in forever. Xbox VP warns of hidden costs, right? Shannon Lofties backs Pete Hines' warning for Game Pass risk devaluing games and hurting creators unless the model changes. Okay, it says that the new four-letter word warning that the platform holders don't balance the needs of their service with proper recognition and also compensation for developers, and then your subscription is worth jack shit. It's also said that the current model is hurting a lot of people, including the creators themselves, because the ecosystem isn't adequately valuing or rewarding their work. Now, I kind of want to break that down, right? Because
I don't believe you.
That's a lot of generalistic there, like just generalizing a lot of stuff. Because if me and you have a company, we're just two-man crew, we're making a video game, the Stilk dwarf with laser eyes, right? It's a side scroller. We're making it. Okay. Now, Game Pass or Microsoft says, hey, what we like to put you on Game Pass. What do you think your game's going to sell? Like, what's your goals, right? What's your budget, right? They have to know what our budget. Let's say it's $1 million, right? It's $1 million. So we need to make, what's your price that you want to sell the game for? We were thinking $15, $20, right? And they're like, okay, well then this is how much you would have to sell. We'll give you 50% up front right now to put your game on Game Pass. Then all you have to do is sell half of that. Now you have to sell 500,000 copies, and you thought you were going to sell 1 million copies, right? So now, as the owner of the company, I go, all right, well, that's a good deal. That's a lot of pressure off of us. We get the $250,000 up, or I'm sorry, the $500,000 up front, and now we only have to make another $500,000. Now, sure, we're losing out on the sales, but we're not losing out on the sales because they're giving us basically an upfront payment of 500,000 copies of that game that we wanted to sell, right? At a certain percentage. Now, everyone's different. Every game sales different. They've said this from the start. Not everyone makes the deal. I'm giving you a really low possibility of what's happening. Then they're like, yeah, we're also putting it on PC, and we're also putting it on PlayStation. We're also putting so now we only have to sell half the amount of copies we thought, and we could blow up. We could be Silk Song, where 5 million people get it. We could be Expedition 33, where people buy it, or we don't. And that goes back to make a game, sell a game. People like the game, they're going to buy the game. If they don't like the game, they're not going to buy the game. But at least you got the money up front and you made a business decision, and then Microsoft goes, it didn't work out, but you know what? Give us your next idea, right? And they're like, all right, cool. But if it does work out for them, then they have that money up front. They're not sweating as much, okay? Because especially low independent companies, they're putting their money up front. We heard about Cuphead. We've heard about Tunic. They got to put all their money up front, putting their houses up for sale.
No, they got a second mortgage.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
Those guys got a second mortgage on their
for
houses.
Cuphead. Yeah, for Cuphead. Yeah, right. So when he says that the recognition and compensation for developers, last time I checked,
all deals are different.
No, I understand that, but last time I checked, a company's paying employees. Either you never use your own money, meaning you got investors' money, you get the bank's money, you're getting someone's money. You have a salary, you have your employees that are doing it.
OPM, bro. OPM.
Right. And if you're in a situation where we have a studio and we're working for free, okay, because we're putting our time in on the side and it's mortgaging our house or whatever, we're working our asses off, then we're looking for that payout. We're looking for that lottery. And then Microsoft comes in and gives us half of the lottery. And we're waiting for the other half of the lottery to hit, which gives us kind of mission to try to balance this out. It says, your subscription's worth jack shit. And also would said that the current model is hurting a lot of people, including creators themselves. Again, creators are just creating the games they want. Microsoft's trying to help them get on the thing. They don't have to take the deal. But remember, so what do you think about these words that they're saying here?
But remember what the whole point of Game Pass was. Microsoft wanted to collect money from you for nothing, right? Now, when I say nothing, I don't mean absolutely nothing. What I'm saying is the games that were on Game Pass when it first started were games that were already out. It's no sweat off their balls. Like, they didn't care. These games are sitting, right? So they have them on a server and they go, hey, why don't we put these games on a service and tell somebody who gets bogged down? Let's put it this way. Number one, doesn't have time to play video games, right? Doesn't have time, right? Married, kids, mortgage, all kinds of shit, right? But if we offer a service for a good price, then maybe on their downtime, if they get a system for their kids, or they get a system for themselves because they're still young before they have kids, and they start playing in their downtime, right? Because let's be honest, the marketing shows that people play X number of things for video games or form of entertainment. They know that someone's going to wander in and take a look, right? So if you give them the ability to play games for $10 a month, right? That's cheaper than anything else on the fucking planet. Right. Even back then, it was cheaper than anything on the fucking planet, right? So for $10, you're going to give me 50 games or 100 games, and I'm bored. I get on one night, I smoke a bowl, my wife's asleep, or just went out with her girlfriends, and I get to actually play a game. I get to see what's on there, right? The rule for them, remember their rule. The rule was that an average gamer plays or buys 3 to 4 games a year. This is I don't know about right this second, but this is what it was before.
It was like 4 years ago. Yeah,
3 to 4 games a year. Now, if you think about it, that's about 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, if it was $60, it's $240 a year.
At that time, right? 3 or 4 games.
Which is $240 a year for a Game Pass.
That's correct. Yeah. So just by having the service, they got the 3 games they got. They got the 3 games. Now, a gamer, including the people in this chat who have Game Pass, are definitely buying games. So it's 3 plus whatever else you buy, and on top of that, whatever microtransactions is on top of that, right? So
right, if they have microtransactions in there.
You're in. They know you're in. But to say that it's hurting the industry, the whole point of Game Pass is to give the other gamers something to do, like as form of entertainment. Not the hardcore people. Not that I have to get the game day one.
Right.
You're not hurting anyone. The game that's on Game Pass is like 3 years old. The 3-year-old game.
The majority of them are older games, yes.
Right, they're 3 years old. Yeah. Who gives a shit? Now, if you have Game Pass and you never buy dick because your wife never lets you, you buy nothing, but you have Game Pass because you convinced her one night when she was drunk, right? Can I just get Game Pass? I don't buy shit. I don't do shit. All I do is come in and come home, right? Can I just get this? Can I just get this? Can I just get the big piece of chicken? Can I just one time, right? So you get Game Pass, right? Now, mysteriously, lo and behold, a game comes on there all of a sudden that is new.
Expedition 33.
It's new. It's not 3 years old. And you say to yourself, hey, I get to play the new game. And then it says somewhere on there, hey, buddy, we know your wife's a bitch. See this game? See this game you got for $10? you can get it for $25. What do you think? You get that
Right.
game for $25, right?
Yeah.
And of course they're gonna say fucking yes if they like the game. So now you got a guy who bought a game who never bought a game before.
Right, because you got to try it.
And
You got
buy
to
the
try
game.
it first. Yeah, and then you buy it. Yeah.
So how are you gonna tell me that indie people get to be in there, never get the scene, they're in there. Corpos get to farm the indie people, right? And you think that this is hurting the industry? They can't release a game complete. If anything else, Game Pass at least shows you what games are out when they're actually complete.
Well, here's the thing. If a game comes out broke, buggy, and unfinished, and I got to pay $80, or if a game comes out broke, buggy, and unfinished, I only got to pay $20 a month, and I can play 20 broken and buggy games. Well, guess what? I'm going to pay the $20 for the broke, buggy, unfinished games instead of the $80 for the one broke, buggy, unfinished game, right? I think the games coming on in the industry, coming unoptimized, broke, buggy, and unfinished, are doing more harm to gaming than Game Pass is. Okay? I'm sorry. It is, because more people try games out, right? There's games that I try on Game Pass that I would never
buy,
never have purchased. Okay? But now I played, and they made money off of me.
So
because I paid for the subscription.
That's right. So don't you think that maybe, just maybe, they have an algorithm, just like YouTube has an algorithm, that people who never buy a game or ever buy, or because they can see your record of buy.
Of course, they know what genre you're playing.
With this game, like engage with the game. So when they pay out to an indie guy, they said, like you said before, they give them half up front, and now they get
as an example. I don't know if they're doing that for everybody.
Every deal's different. I'm not saying it's a cookie cutter thing, right? Now, the devs go, hey, we got half our money back. We don't have to sweat. We're good. And then the corporate guys go, these guys got some talent. Keep them on the hook. Tell them that if they make something else, tell them instead of getting 20% up, they'll get 40% up. And let's see what we can do then. Like, there's deals going on the whole time. This is not a cookie cutter thing, right? Indies get a chance to be seen, right? Do you remember the stories 4 or 5 years ago when Steam was so corroded with so much trash games? It was like the Atari 2600.
Yeah,
right.
Back in
there were so many
80s.
games. There were so many games coming out that Steam couldn't even keep up with it. It was just garbage. It was like people were just making anything because they just want to get seen, right? So then they had to start putting in levels. You got to put some doors in, right? It just can't be a revolving door where everybody can get in, because you have to show you at least have talent. Oh, you mean like every other job? Like every other thing on the planet, that you don't get picked unless you're good at something? Just because you showed up to work doesn't mean you get to make a video game? Like, that's how it's supposed to be. I don't believe for a second that Game Pass is destroying the gaming industry. The industry is destroying themselves, because they basically told you that it doesn't matter what you believe. You're supposed to believe what we say. So regardless of how the game releases, between the trailers and the reviews and the guys we pay to say the game is good, shut up and consume, right? That's it. Otherwise, you just wait. You just wait. Like, the penalty for not being fucked over isn't to hand over more money, or you have to sign a contract. It's just to wait.
Yeah.
And the last time I checked, if I wait and I just go on Steam, there's 10,000 games.
Yeah, there's 19,000 games, and there's a spring sale, a summer sale, a winter sale.
So you're telling me that if I don't buy the game immediately, that if I just say no, and then I can go on Steam and look over 19,000 games to see if I'm going to play something, right? I couldn't possibly play 10% of what's on Steam. If I was broke on the streets, no wife or kids, I still couldn't play 20% of those games.
Well,
right?
even and on Game Pass, even if you're just a Game Pass member, I'm sure PlayStation does this, or PlayStation Plus, you get discounts on any game.
Any
if you're
game.
a Game Pass member, you're like, here's 10% off, 25% off. Not just Game Pass games. Like, they're like, hey, you're a Game Pass member. Guess what? We're giving you 10% off on this brand new game that came out. You're like, oh, cool. All right, I'll take that, right? Which goes down to the same price that you would have paid before they raised the price. But we're going to skip the.
But you remember they didn't. Remember when everyone forgot that you were paying for internet and the game?
Yeah.
Right. You were paying for Xbox Live.
Yep.
Right. $60 a year.
Yep. And PlayStation.
And then you were paying for Game Pass.
Yep.
Right. So really, that was $180 a year. If you think about it. right?
Right. Just
So
to
then
access your games. Yeah.
Right. So nobody said anything about it, and then they just said, you know what? Let's just stop charging for Xbox
Yeah, well, just
Live.
include it in the $20,
bullshit
$10,
anyway.
$20. Yeah.
It was bullshit anyway. We were just collecting $60 from you for 10 years for no reason. For no reason. Nobody even got mad. They're like, yeah, I'm playing games online on my console. It's magic. You're playing games online on your PC, bro. No one's charging you dick. Right? So now it's combined and no one cares. So if you're a money person, you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm saving $60 a year doing nothing, and I could buy another game with $60. Right. So what's the bad part about this? Let me hear about this, Bright. Let me hear how Game Pass is destroying the industry, not the actual devs, just Game Pass by itself.
So going from that, I want to talk. We're going to skip Battlefield stuff because you know what, the Battle Royale is going to get talked about next week, big time, because there's going to be leaks and stuff, and we'll talk about it.
I can't wait.
I want to talk about this.
The donut of shame.
I want to talk about Nintendo. Okay.
They're on fire, bro. They won 3 court cases.
Yeah, well, and they also got a patent system, which we're going to talk about here, right? So, Pal World lawsuit, Nintendo patents, and a system for summoning a character. Okay. So, with this, Nintendo has obtained a patent describing a patent for summoning a character for a purpose of having a fight with another character. All right. The broad nature of this patent is secured amid the Nintendo high-profile IP battle against Pal World, potentially threatens the entire video game industry, according to one analyst, right? So Nintendo basically is trying to patent jumping, right? Or like running. You know, they're patenting summoning with another character in mind. Now, just think about this. Now, I'm going to use Helldivers as an example, right? You're not really summoning stratagems, but you're summoning, right? You're putting in a code, and a thing drops from the sky, and it pops out your drone, right? You summon the drone, and that drone now attacks the other NPCs. So potentially that mechanic right there, okay, Nintendo owns that mechanic now.
Never going to happen.
Well, they got the patent. They got the patent.
That's great, getting the patent, but enforcing it is something completely different.
Now enforcing it, right? So this goes to this part right here where it says, former Pokemon company head lawyer says, yeah, those latest Nintendo patents are a bit much, aren't they? I wish Nintendo and Pokemon good luck when the first other developer just entirely ignores this patent.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Nintendo, this one patent has solidified...
Just big bully. Just a bully.
You know, has solidified me personally. I'm not purchasing anything that Nintendo's part of. I'm not going to watch the new Super Mario movie when it comes out. I'm not watching the Zelda movie when it comes out. I'm not buying the Switch 2 in the next 10 years. I'm not getting any other games. We have a Switch. We have games for it. We will no longer be purchasing any game for Nintendo. When I talk about how Nintendo is crazy Uncle Nintendo and they constantly give you a Nintendo at birth and you turn it in when you die, is because that's their fan base, okay? Lifetime Nintendo, right? People have compared, we've compared them to Nintendo fans are like Disney grown-ups, okay? Doesn't matter what Nintendo does, they're okay with anti-consumer type of stuff, and now they're doing this. They're bullies, right? They can do what they want with the industry, and I think they're grasping on to anything they can because the industry is shifting so fast, and they haven't made any changes. They're just grasping for anything, and they're trying to pull patents and stuff. So when someone makes a game of summoning anything or does anything, they're like, "Hey, yeah, can you pay us for that? Thanks." I'd be like, this is so absurd that they can do this. It's even more absurd that the judge let this happen.
Allowed it.
Yeah, allowed it to happen, right?
Well,
but maybe it's the same judge that does other things where there's no judges that are actual judges.
But that's a judge that's going by the book of what was presented, not by the industry itself, like what it entails. Like, I'm sure the judge is not game savvy. Like, he doesn't understand that summoning something is like it's been in a game since the beginning of time. Wizards summon dragons. Wizards summon elementals. Other games summon a rocket launcher or a little pet. All kinds of stuff gets summoned in a game. Right, Final Fantasy summons Batma. Like you summon shit. That's what happens. Right. You can't tell me all of a sudden Nintendo comes out of a coma and goes, "Hey, we own everything." They just woke up one day. They called the midget Japanese guys to come out. The mob comes out. They start collecting money from everybody. All of a sudden, like, what are you guys doing here? Give us your money. Give us your money. Give it to us. Like, you don't own jumping, my friend. You don't own summoning. Right. If I like your game, and I throw a square and a peanut comes out, right? You don't own the square and the peanut, right?
Right.
I made it. It's mine, right? You can't copy actions, right? You can't. That's why I'm still pissed about the Nemesis system. I'm still pissed about that. I'm like, that's something that's really cool that can be used in a lot of different games. But you cocksuckers, you want to Sony it, right? You want to hang on to it and don't make the movie. And then when the movie's about to run out, you say we're going to make something with it so you can hang on to it. Like,
oh, you're saying Sony with the movie rights? Yeah.
The Spider-Man thing. Where we don't make Spider-Man, but then right before we're going to lose the Spider-Man license, we make a Spider-Man movie, like because we don't want to lose it. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. No, this is ridiculous. Nintendo's out of control, man. Nintendo's out of control. They're bricking people's systems. You pay for the system, and they're bricking your systems. They're the card system, the system itself. Did you hear this, Sarge?
If you brick my Nintendo, I'm mailing it back to you.
Did you hear about there is a company, third-party company, that makes the Joy-Cons and the cases and stuff like that.
Oh, they got sued into oblivion.
Yeah, because they didn't. I forget. They didn't call them the Switch. It was called the
glitch.
The glitch or something like that. Yeah, the glitch. And now Nintendo has patent colors where you can't make the same accessories at the same colors that they use.
Not gonna happen.
Right? Like, what is happening, Nintendo?
You cannot.
What happened to you? Yeah, what happened to you, Nintendo? Please tell us where the industry hurt you. We loved you. We used to love you.
Show me where they hurt you. Show me.
Show me on this controller.
In the naughty place where they touch you.
Right? Like, what happened to this company?
You can't patent colors, bro. Sorry. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the color combinations that they pick. They say it's very particular.
You can't use fluorescent green. We own fluorescent green on controllers.
First of all,
red, blue, green, pink.
First of all, if you're gonna patent colors, Crayola's got some words for you. Right? Right? If the crayon company sees any of its colors and they want money from you, it's over for everybody.
Yeah, I own the rainbow of colors.
Let's not pretend that Nintendo thinks they own color patterns. That's absurd. Okay? It's absurd. The judge is just poor, doesn't understand. There's going to be appeal process for that one 100%. 100%. There's no way.
Is there though? Nintendo's just like, we'll sue you. Right?
Yeah. Prove
and
then
on top of that, the Pokemon lawsuit, all right, where they just keep changing the patent to try to stay ahead of Power World. Power World's like, all right, we got rid of the ball, we got rid of the mounting stuff, and they're like, what are you gonna do next? We're gonna patent whatever you think you're gonna do next. They're trying to minority report the patent before Power World can do the next thing. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing, Nintendo?
Well, that's the first sign.
They're so petty.
Well, they're petty. They're petty because they've been recycling the same 5 games forever. They don't make anything new, which is why the argument is they want to do third party. But you know deep inside that Nintendo is sitting in there in the room in the meetings like this. They're like,
yeah,
my precious, we can't have third party, my precious.
Right.
If we have the third parties, we can't control the third parties. We have to allow the third parties. We don't like the third parties. Like, that's what it has to be. You have to allow somebody else to come on your platform. It's the same 5 games over and over again, bro. Do you think the guys in charge of Nintendo right now? I know the one guy who passed away. That's why they're freaking out. Right? The one guy passed away. Now they're like,
he was the idea guy.
So what are we gonna do now?
Yeah, like, he was the idea guy. He had all the ideas.
Like, listen, we don't have any of the ideas, so we have to patent everything in gaming.
Yeah, we're gonna
to make sure
yes.
that we don't have to hire anybody. We don't want to hire any new idea people at all. We just want to recycle the same 5 games. So the only way this is gonna work is we have to get patents on everything in gaming.
Yeah.
Who's
side scrolling?
Who's
side scrolling? We were the first to do it. Side scrolling's us.
Who are you guys? Okay, what do you mean you want to patent everything in gaming? How is that possible? How?
The fact that the judge was like, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, go ahead.
Judge. You have it, bro. It's just a bad judge.
It's so stupid.
Just a bad judge.
All right. It's time for Q&A. Okay. Time for Q&A. Let's get the banner
early.
Well, it's 9:15 till. Usually it's what we're trying to do. That's what I try to get to instead of going into 10 and it goes all the way to 10:30. Right? So if you have a question and you would like to ask it, put a Q in front of your question. We'll keep it up for a little bit as we discuss. Other stories, Sarge. I want to talk about this while we're waiting for the questions to pop in. Okay.
What do you think? What do you think the damage control is going to be on Borderlands?
I think people just it's the hand wave. They're fine with it.
No. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about them. What do you think the damage control is going to be after the explosion of people saying this game doesn't work?
I think
day one patch. Week one patch.
Yeah, day one patch. They'll be. We listen to you. We're hearing you. We thank you for your support. They'll just kind of like I said. They'll just
textbook.
They'll just do this.
Are you showing me an Atari handheld? Are we serious right now?
Yeah, I want to show you this because remember we talk about the Nintendo, the Atari Hotel. The Atari 2600 Recoup Retro Edition
How
thing.
Are
the
these
mini
guys
Atari
functioning? Who is paying these guys?
Atari won't die.
Who is paying them?
Sega Dreamcast was one of the better systems ever, and it's gone.
Do they have
Atari?
Do they have a billionaire friend who's drunk all the time and he doesn't know what to do with his money? How is Atari still a thing?
Atari GameStation Go handheld with over 200 built-in games launches in October. The Atari GameStation
For who?
Go is
What
a new
kid is
portable
playing
gaming
this?
handheld, right? With over 200 classic games that's launching in October of 2025 for $179. Okay, for $179.
Bro.
Right? 200 games, obviously, let's see.
A kid comes out of the womb, okay? He's given an iPad. He's playing Roblox at 4. He's getting molested by 6. When does he have time to play an Atari game? When is he going to look at an Atari game and think that this is something I want? Who is playing this?
I just think it's crazy that, and you know what the best part is? Every time Atari's next thing comes out, we never hear about it. If it's good, if it works, if it's bad,
nobody's playing it, bro.
Nobody says shit about it. Like the other, remember the system that was hooked up to the internet that was like a thumb drive that had the SSD in front of it?
No, type in YouTube right now. Let's see if there's somebody playing with any Atari anything. I'm gonna look it up.
Right. I don't understand how this is still a thing.
Atari review.
It doesn't make any sense.
Atari review.
Doesn't make any
console.
sense. Chat, it doesn't make any sense. How? Please tell me how this is a thing.
Atari products for sale.
Right? It doesn't make sense. Let me see what else they're saying here. I can't. Do I not?
They're selling. Who is buying this? It's gotta be like African or sub-Saharan countries or something. Oh, who's buying this?
Yeah, it says it finally ready at launch. The Atari GameStation Go gaming handheld, now unlike the recent string of PC gaming handhelds running Windows 11, SteamOS, Atari GameStation Go aimed for more of a dice of a retro gaming fans as it comes preloaded with over 200 games covering a range of classic Atari hardware.
I can emulate every Atari game ever made
in our browser right now.
Right now in my browser, I'll open up a window right now.
Right, on your phone, on your thing.
I can open up any Atari game I want right now. What are you talking about?
But it's handheld, Sarge. Handheld. 200 games. It's a little less than $1 a game. That's with the plastic box, with the thing. $179, 200 games with the plastic box.
You think a boomer is buying this, Alien? Seriously, think about it. Do you really believe a boomer is buying this?
No.
With all the tech that we have right now and robot girlfriends, do you think boomers are buying an Atari handheld for $180?
Did you say
are
robot girlfriends? Robot girlfriends.
Yeah, bro. Robot girlfriends. FYI, okay? The Japanese have robot. Listen, the Japanese.
Are we already there?
Listen, the Japanese have a robot girlfriend. Ready for this? It's not just a torso, full robot. It was like $200,000. Okay, that's what the starting price is. Well, it just came out, bro. It's like the big screen TV. You have to wait for the price to come down, right?
Okay.
However, China.
Okay.
You know those Chinese.
They
Teamu'd the shit out of that thing. They got it down. You ready for this? Buckle up, boys. They got down the robot girlfriend to $3,000, which means that you can have a full robotic girl in your house for $3,000, or the best computer you could probably buy, or that. Like, I'm telling you, this is true. This is a true thing.
Well, I'm looking it up. Right now. Let me see.
Dark Taco, I'm serious.
Okay, here it is. Yeah.
For $3,000, I was thinking about buying like a new rifle, but I'm thinking about it.
Okay, right here it says, as of late 2025, a term robot girlfriend 3K most likely refers to a high-end humanoid AI companion named Aria. Aria showed at the Consumer Electronics Show.
So don't worry what her name is.
In January 2025, while the full standing model cost $175,000 initial searches
using her brain,
and headlines. misstated that the price as 3K, which with the correct price being significantly higher. So it's not 3K. It's not there yet, Sarge. Got to wait for it to come down. It's 175,000. It's 175,000. They misstated the price. They misstated the price as 3K. It's not 3K yet. Okay.
Listen, I'm not saying that we should do this. I'm just saying that it's scary that's an option. That's all.
Hold on a second. I have an ant crawling on my ceiling.
Well, it's recon. It's a recon, bro. If you got an ant on your ceiling, it's a recon. You don't have to kill him. It's an ant.
I got to kill him. He's going to go back and tell his friends.
Tell me he found nothing? You think they waste time doing that shit?
He's going to die. He's going to have to die. Nothing stays in my house. Don't worry. I'll get the spider to kill him.
Oh, you got a spider on. You got a spider on call.
Yeah, we have a lizard, a spider. We live on a fucking farm. What do you think? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you got everything. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they do the things they have to do. Circle of life. It's the circle of life.
I mean, what is brain? If you think about it, you'd want to buy a robot girlfriend, right? Because in Germany and Japan, they have like brothel houses with robot girlfriends, and I'm thinking, who's on cleanup duty on there? Like, what's happening there? Right? If you have a robotic brothel, like, what's going on there, buddy? Like, I think I would much rather have my own. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think they made a gender version of the robot.
Yeah, they did.
Alien.
Yeah,
no.
With the
it's
female.
just a swap out part. They're not going to make a girl version.
I mean, I'm sure
robot
you can
where they
swap
just put
out
the
parts.
silicone bot. Yeah. It's custom made.
Fits all. I'm sure you can buy the parts. I'm
100%.
sure.
Yeah. I don't think they're making. I mean, come on.
I mean, how many
old Mc30 had a farm? Yeah.
So there's so many.
Yeah, make fun of me now, but when the world starts to go to shit, don't come by my place. Okay, I'm self-sufficient. We're good here. We are good here. All right, we got a couple of questions. If you have a question, put a Q in front of your chat. $3,000, $175,000 robot. I say by the time I'm 60, I'm 47. Okay, so the next 13 years, I think we do see a 3K robot. Hell, Elon Musk said those robots like Rosie from Jetsons, he said in the next 5 years, 30K. 30K for that robot. Everyone's going to have it. Everyone's going to have one. Everyone will stay home. Robots will be on the streets going shopping for their masters.
Surrogates. Be surrogates.
Right? Yeah. And then one will get in a fight with another. They'll start voting. They want robots to vote. Then they'll start doing the thing, and then we'll have the storyline of Exo Squad. They'll be like the Martians. They rebel against us. Yeah, we'll have iRobot and stuff. It's gonna be great.
Listen, women are already pissed off that no one's going to clubs and buying them shit anymore. They're really upset. Trust me.
They're not mad that people are not going to clubs. They're mad because people are not buying them shit. So they have to buy their own shit.
Well,
that's why they're
guys
mad.
are the ones who buy them shit.
No, I understand that. They're mad that no one's buying them shit. Yeah, I get it.
You have to read all the stories. It's hilarious. A lot of clubs are closing down because guys don't go to clubs anymore. They don't care. So girls can't go to clubs because no one's buying them. Why would I go to?
If I was single, why would I go to a club? I have to sign an NDA and everything else by the time you're like, hey, can I talk to you? Am I allowed to do this? Okay, I'm about to touch your arm. Can I sign here? You're like, get the fuck out of here.
It's a shit show, bro. It's a shit show.
I'm glad I'm married. Like, get out of here. And if anything ever happens,
robot girlfriends are like, that's the cherry on the cake because everything
that's stock. When that goes live, let me know. I'll buy that stock,
bro. As soon as I find the company that's going public, I'm in. I'm gonna retire. Retire, bro. It's gonna be like Bitcoin.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to you now. Is that okay? Get away from me, creep. Are you gonna buy me a drink? I'm all yours.
I'm sure they're gonna invent the robot insurance, Krebsy. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah. It says here you fucked your robot 3 times last week. The contract said you're only supposed to fuck it once a week, and so the insurance doesn't cover it if you broke it. Yeah. If the insurance doesn't cover it because you broke it.
Yeah, you fucked it once too many times.
You fucked it once too many times, and now we're gonna fuck you. Yeah, that's the robot insurance right there.
Yeah. First, you have to get personal injury. It's like, why do I have to have no fault? What? when you invite people over for 3 weeks, you have to pay for no fault. It's just gets complicated.
How did it happen?
Robot girlfriends.
I lost my privates in the robot.
Robot girlfriends are going to be the death of most people. That's what's going to
happen. It malfunctioned. I had the greatest orgasm in the world.
Right, and
lost
died.
my dick.
Yeah,
and lost my dick. Yeah. Had to be there. It was good times.
Oh man, it's just gonna be bad, bro. It's gonna be bad. Listen, we can't handle cell phones. What do you think we're gonna do with robot girlfriends? It's gonna be apocalyptic, bro.
Scrolling's gonna be a whole new meaning. Yeah, scrolling's gonna be a whole new meaning. Your robot's you have to sign an NDA to touch your robot. First question: will loot boxes ruin Marvel Rivals?
Probably. Long term, probably.
Yeah, this goes against everything I said about Marvel Rivals. I said it earlier this week.
But they did. But that's a beautiful bait and switch by them.
Yeah, no, it's a Trojan horse.
It's
is basically what it is.
Switch.
Yeah, no. If they do it, I think it's going to be fucked up. It would be a big turnoff for me. So, I mean, I still play it now and then. I'll wait for certain characters to come in, but the loot boxes, if it's like Overwatch was, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt them. I don't think they should do it, but, Next question. Clip says, could I have the link for that AI robot girlfriend for science? I don't know the link. I just typed in 3K robot. It popped up for research for science. No, that's the same one. Next one. Krebsy says, why do you think people are upset about Battlefield 6 getting thermals since other Battlefield games had them and even COD? I don't know the story. I didn't read it, Krebsy. Are they upset that people can see them with a thermal? I mean, I'm a little confused why they would be upset. A thermal's a thermal. Wall hacks are wall hacks. But this is just an actual wall hack. You can see the thermals or see people in bushes and stuff like that. I don't understand why people would be upset with that because that's an actual device in modern warfare. I mean, you wanted modern gameplay. But I'm a big fan of World War II.
That's pay to win.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of World War II myself. So if they're mad because of thermals, I didn't read the story, so I don't know why they are mad. If you want to put why they're mad.
Have you ever used night vision goggles?
Yeah, I own some. I live on a farm.
Do you really have night vision goggles?
Yes.
Why don't you tell me? I love those things, man. I thought they're fucking badass.
What do you think?
My buddy had them, and we used to go outside all the time and at night.
How do you think I shoot a gun in the middle of the dark?
Shoot shit. Yeah, that's what we used to do. We used to go out in the woods, shoot shit.
Yeah, no shit. What do you think? I'm not blaring a fucking light when the coyote's on the property.
Well, you have to, you gotta mask yourself. They can smell you. You gotta be careful.
I think he knows where I am. I have a house. He sees me. I come out in the back of my house and I point a thing at him. Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
But it's not fair to the coyote, bro. You have a gun and all he has is him.
Well, he ate my ducks, so he's got to go.
Hey, listen, man. You got a food chain directly on your property.
Yeah, that's what happens. Next one, Krebsy says, would you like to see those in the industry who made fun of the recent death fired? And how do you think it will affect things going forward? I've spoke about this in my morning stream. You're a despicable person if you have no empathy for someone. You don't have to like somebody, right? You don't have to like somebody, but if you have no empathy and you want someone to die because of freedom of speech, I'm sorry. I don't want to know you as a person because you're not a person. You're not a human being. So the people that got fired, the two people that I thought and saw online, they did get fired. The person from Sucker Punch got fired. And then the person from DC Comics, they canceled the entire run and they fired that person as well. Which,
I mean, all that really is the culmination of culture shame. Like back in the old days, they did the same thing. They would shame you, right? So that's what that is. You put yourself in the public so now everyone knows who you really are. And so you got shamed, and then your bosses didn't like the way you acted, and so you got fired.
Yeah, I mean,
that's how it works.
What I was taught when I got a job is that you represent the company because you work for the company, right? So if you say stuff online and it says all my thoughts and stuff are mine and myself, yeah, until they're not, because your thoughts might be your thoughts, but you also work for that company, and that company doesn't want any association with you whatsoever. Because why? They're a business and they want to make money. So, and you're stopping them from making money. No salute for you, right? Because they need the corporation to make money. You're stopping them from making money, so they kiss you out the door, right? That's it. So, yeah.
FAFO is going to be a big thing next couple of years.
Yeah.
For a lot of people.
I think if more people do it and the more people say stuff like that, look, you're allowed to say what you want, but don't be shocked if what you say has consequences of what you say.
Well,
So,
that's part of the FAFO is you believe that you're allowed to say. People are confusing freedom of speech with misintent of what your words are to somebody else publicly. Like if we say something between each other, it's one thing, but if people know who you are because you're higher up in the company and you're on a public forum spouting out stuff.
yeah, and there's billions of dollars on the line.
It shows
stockholders
who you are,
and investors and
right, because regardless of what you believe, people have a moral code, everyone has their own little lines in the sand. But if you're investing in a company and you see somebody from that company spouting out all the stuff that goes completely against what you are as a person morally, then you probably would pull your money. That's usually how it goes.
Look at the person that was the DC writer for Red Hood. Red Hood issue 1 was coming out. The person spoke up against the thing, against them, and it was despicable, right? And then they doubled down on top of that, right? Or triple down, whatever it was. If they didn't fire this person, yes, it's a comic, but now people are not buying the comic. And then they're like, well, DC didn't say anything about this, and I'm not supporting anything that DC does. I'm not supporting the movies they do,
and
the
that's,
TV show.
That's the power of the people. That's
correct.
That's you are informed of what's going on in the company, and you decide whether or not you want to spend your money in the company.
Correct.
Now, if you would have just stayed quiet and talked to your friends,
right,
as opposed to going
business
online and telling the world,
yeah, business as usual.
That's FAOFO.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go to the next one, which Altered says, how long till Sarge buys the robot girlfriend and uploads his personality AI to have the perfect girl to play Helldivers 2 with? If I had robot,
if I had that kind of disposable income, I think probably
he would have a fleet of robots.
No, I wouldn't have a fleet of robots. I would probably make the human version of Tifa from Final Fantasy. That would probably be my girlfriend. If I had to put the specs in to order her, those are the specs I would use.
There you go. Next one. When do we hear GTA 6 delay?
March.
I was gonna say late January, February is what I was gonna say.
March.
Yeah, March.
I don't think it's a delay. I think it's more along the lines of how many less people can we fuck over?
Well, no, it would be a delay because they did say May 26th. So now they have official date, so it would be a delay. Yeah, I'm going to say late February,
is there
early March.
Is there an official date?
Yeah, May 26th.
Okay, May 26th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next question is, how many months do we think we'll wait for Borderlands 4 to work?
Define work.
Yeah,
define work.
That's a hard question, Altern, because they might fix this patch, right, in, let's say, 4 weeks. But then they add something new into the game, which then breaks that point of the game again. So now they have to put another patch in to fix that game. So how long does it take to fix the first problem or entirely? Because entirely, I don't think it'll ever be fixed. I think it'll always have an issue. And when they add stuff, I'll say a minimum of 6 months. I'll say 6 months.
Well, I would use the equation. What else is coming out before the end of the year first? Like, what else is coming out?
Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, Kingmaker, Jump Space.
Is there anything coming out that would pull you away from Borderlands to play that instead?
Eclipse says, hold on a second. No, who said? Ray says she's a minor. Well, she is not a minor because she would be a robot.
Who's a minor?
The Final Fantasy character.
Tifa is absolutely not a minor. She's not under 18 in that game. She
just
looks that way because she's drawn
it's
that
a
way.
Fucking robot. So let's just not even have a conversation about it. It's a fucking robot.
Well, I would program the robot to be 24. I mean, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, Tifa's like 20 years old. There you go. They did a big update today.
That's somebody who's never played Final Fantasy before. I can already tell.
Is the update? Did it fix the problem with the issues? You could drop an update. Helldivers did an update. It fucked up worse shit. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So, next question. I'll say 6 months to answer your question. I'll turn. Next question is, after seeing Jump Space Roadmap, do you feel that the roadmap makes it look a game that is a little bit bare bones? Well, the game's $20, and it's an early access. So
they're probably just testing out what they can do.
Exactly what I said earlier in the show. I'm okay with an early access game telling me up front it's an early access game and it's missing all of these things because they're not charging $60, $70, $80 for their game. You know from the start that it's an early access game and they're adding stuff in. So you as a consumer now make the decision, do I want to give them $20 for this game? It's bare bone. Instead of giving Cyberpunk, 2042, Borderlands, Space Marines, where you're paying the full price and then waiting a full year for that content up front, right?
I mean, like, who's the development company that made it?
I don't know the name.
Is it a new team?
I think it's a new independent studio or something like that. It might be a. I don't want to say.
So then, basically, they're doing exactly what we just discussed earlier in the show. They're doing exactly what we discussed. They're an up-and-coming studio. They want to try some stuff out. They have ideas. They charge a small team. They can charge what they want because they're not bound by corpos. And we see what happens. Listen, if the game does well, they make another one. That's how it works. If the game does well, they'll make a second one, and it'll have all the cool shit that everyone wants. But at least they're getting community feedback the entire time, right?
Yeah.
And they're getting how much free publicity.
Krabby says, how much do you think a robot subscription will cost, and will you need a robot insurance? Robot insurance for sure.
For sure. And it would just be the same kind of thing for the cost of the robot.
It'd be like a car. Yeah. Warranty. You get your extra warranty. Subscription model, that's definitely going to be a thing. Right? Do you want it to do this? Do you want it to do that?
Yeah, you can make her download different personalities.
Yeah,
and shit. You know
that'd be definitely. You could
listen if you're paying Volkswagen to make your car go to max speed, they're definitely putting in different things for robots. All right,
for sure. Yeah. And Krebsy says, "What do you think TV static tastes like?"
Pop-Tarts. Oh no, Pop Rocks. Pop Rocks.
Pop Rocks. Yeah. If you could taste static on television, it would.
Pop Rocks.
Yeah, I can see that. That's a good answer, Sarge. Yeah, Pop Rocks. It would taste like pop. Maybe it wouldn't taste like Pop Rocks because Pop Rocks it would taste shittier than Pop Rocks, but it would have that fizzly, bubbly taste in there.
I mean, you could make it taste whatever you want it to taste like, but Pop Rocks is Pop Rocks.
Well, static is black and white, so it wouldn't taste like anything.
You want me to define black and white as a taste?
I mean, you would think
black and white to me would be like marshmallows and black licorice. I'm already sick, so it doesn't matter.
Ugh.
Right?
I just think like salt and pepper, like a little.
Pop Rocks. Pop Rocks is good.
Sparkling water. There you go.
Yeah. No, somebody got bougie. Krebsy's been going out on real dates. Sparkling water.
His robot pours the water out of her wrist. The hand flips down, and then
who the fuck's wasting that shit? Fucking
comes out the finger.
Bourbon and scotch coming out of her fucking wrist. Fucking sparkling water. Man up. Fucking sparkling water.
And that, my friends, is Generation X Gaming, episode 456 is in the can. We do appreciate you very much for coming out and hanging out with us. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. If you'd like to also help us support past that, we do have an album called Perk Up and Press Play, which is over on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play. It's on all major platforms. If you like the music, it's basically what happens in the industry. We have titles such as Always Online. We have back in 2011, we have Hell Dive or Die. We have Know Your Industry. These are all industry type of songs, so go check them out. They're fun. I think they're pretty good. I think they're radio worthy. So if you like it, go check those out. Go stream. Yeah, I think they are. Stream it. You can listen to it. You can download it. So I appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, week, or evening, wherever you are. And I will be back on Monday for some more The Daily Grind, which is on Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. Have a good one. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and chaos.